innovation. I think it's an innovation. Man, they not around here. I think it's an innovation.
Lockstar. Greetings, Earthlings. This is my introduction. They say greatness doesn't come overnight, so I'm not rushing. Spaced out swag, best believe I'm paper touching. Super stupid flow, and you bitches can't tell them nothing. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand. UFO, uniquely flying, outstanding. All I speak is cash, I see why you don't understand me. Got a sense for drama, so I always keep the cannon. This is the invasion, so watch out for our landing. Standing tall, never too far. Spring and summer fashion, bro, I get it in the fall. Y'all about to start hating, and I don't mind at all. I'm a thriller like MJ, and my flow is off the wall.
Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an innovation. I think it's an innovation. I think it's an innovation. They not from around here. I think it's an innovation. Who they? They're not from around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an innovation. I think it's an innovation. I think it's an innovation. Man, they not from around here. I think it's an innovation. Greetings, Earthlings. I am Wallow. I am Wallow. I am Wallow. I live life like there's no tomorrow. Chris King, KGNOOB. What homes you ain't know? We're UFO. Cargo, khakis, polos, and fresh kicks. That's the definition of what the cargo kids is. SOS, yes, spaced out swagger. I never do anything right. I'm backward.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Wait, somebody's not.
Let him in. Go ahead. Let it roll. We're live, buddy.
We live, baby.
Hey, well, everybody, hello. Wait, hold on. Are we good?
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. Now, welcome back to the mothership, bitches.
Yeah. This is the mothership is crowded in a motherfucker.
Man, this is the SS WhoDat, the #1 podcast on this side of the Mississippi. And we have a special presentation, a very exclusive presentation right now. We actually, well, hold on. Demario, the captain, say hello.
What's up, y'all?
I'm forgetting the whole process. We have a special co-host today from T-Talks.
Hello.
Jasmine. You'll remember that she was on one of the early episodes as a guest.
I was, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back today.
We're so glad to have you back, especially for a really, really important podcast like this one. So if you don't know, if you're underneath a rock, there's a nationwide strike going on right now against the GM at the GM plants with the wait, how do I want to make sure?
Local 1853.
1850. Thank you. You knew exactly what I was about to. The local 1853 UAW. And we were fortunate enough to be able to have some representatives that are on the front lines of
The picket.
The picket, like the silent heroes, the ones really fighting. And so I want to introduce everybody. I don't know which side to go from. Paco, you introduce everybody.
This is Kristen, Lance, Steve, Chris.
Wow.
I don't know your name. What is your name, man?
Right.
Kate.
And then we got Bob in the back.
Bob.
So, and they have been. How long has this been going on so far, guys?
4 days. 4 days.
Starting Sunday at midnight. Well, 10:59 p.m. Central Time.
Okay. So they have been doing this for 4 days. They've been out, and they've been in the
trenches.
Man. They've been dealing with police. They've been dealing with locals. They've been dealing with supporters. They've been dealing with everything that's going on. And there's 1,000,001 stories swirling about this situation. So we have them here today so they can go ahead and set the story straight. Right, guys?
Right.
So
some actual facts out here.
Right.
Truth.
So let's start off. Let's say what's the biggest myth right now that the media has swirled, that everything has swirled about what's going on? And
that we make $90,000 a year, that we get $250 a day for strike pay. Yeah, I heard about that. The $250 a day.
That
Smith
were-
is-
that were greedy.
Like what?
We'd stay out forever.
Okay, one at a time. So let's start out with the $250 a day. False, right?
False.
Correct.
False. Okay. So how much are you guys getting for strike pay?
$250 a week.
A week. This is $250 a week. So
And that's before taxes.
right.
God.
So first and foremost, debunk that. All right, they're not getting $250 a day. I knew they wasn't getting $250 a
That's
day.
more than I make working.
Right, $250 a day. Then that's what they would. They wouldn't be auto
like Bob
workers.
said,
They'd
why
be
would we
professional
work?
picketers. So
You know, and one
We'd
of
be
the
out there
number-
7 days a week holding our side.
right.
One of the number one things that bothers me the most is they're saying we're greedy. And we're not just doing this for us. We're doing this for everyone.
Right.
Our families, our temporary workers, our retirees. You know, our community benefits from us. It's not just us.
The up and coming generations, if we don't put a stand now and make a stand right now, it's going to impact the next generation to come behind us, because if they get away with keeping as many temps as they want for as long as they want and never having to hire, you're never going to have a next generation.
Right.
There won't be a middle class.
We're not on strike for ourselves. We're on strike for every American worker out there.
Yep.
And we're on strike against corporate greed. We reached a time when they keep getting more and more and we get less and less. The corporations and the ultra-rich keep looking at us as we're indisposable, we're irrelevant.
Right.
They keep taking more and more.
Mary Barra made $22 million last year, $10,700 an hour.
Right.
281 times the salary of your average GM employee.
So let me kind of jump in here for a second. Now, from what I've heard, is that part of this strike, a big portion of this strike, is how you guys, when they were needing bailed out, you gave up your cost of living
Yes.
increases,
Yes.
And much more.
and they had promised you guys that back when they got on their feet.
Correct.
And then they had an $8.1 billion profit,
Yep.
and you didn't get that back.
No.
No.
We were told it was called the snapback. When they got back to being profitable, every concession we made would snap back. And we
it
never
never snapped back.
So how overdue are they on this snapback?
Pardon me?
How overdue are they on this snapback?
Well,
Like when they,
they profited $8.1 billion.
but what, how
about-
many years ago was that?
since
Like
about-
bankruptcy?
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
back when the
About
bankruptcy-
2015 is when we should have heard a snapback because they were profitable in 2015.
Oh, they're 4 years late.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that case, you guys have been pretty patient.
Yeah.
10 years
You know,
late.
let me jump in. Didn't you
That
work
was in 09,
with
right?
us at one point?
bank-
Yeah, I did. I did work with you guys at one
Contract.
point.
So-
Finished out
And then
for
in
2015, that's when it
they
was supposed
gave
to
us,
snap back.
that was the first time I seen a raise in a decade.
Yeah.
So they just gave you a raise. They didn't actually, like, there was no snapback to anything.
In almost 15 years, our base rate has went up about 5,000 annually. I got just about $2 in almost 15 years. $2 an hour over 15 years, 2,080 hours in a standard year. That's $4,160 more a year that I make now than I did 15 years ago. When Mary Barra in 2013 made $750,000, and now she made over $22 million this year. In 6 years, she went from $750,000 to over $22 million.
Oh, wow.
And I've made, in 15 years, $5,000 more in a year.
Okay.
That's what we're on strike against. When a guy like Jeff Benzo makes $9 million an hour,
Yeah.
yet he just cut his health care for his 1,900 food workers because $9 million an hour evidently isn't enough for him.
Right, and see,
That's
the
what
news,
we're on strike
You have the
against.
news just talking about our health care.
Right.
That's a big blow. It's a big
Right.
part. Because we've got a lot of people that need things.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
heard
not the only thing.
a story of a woman that she was being prepped for surgery,
Yes.
and they had to stop it because of the insurance being
It
cut.
was a young girl. She was getting a gallbladder taken
Oh, this is real.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a real. Yeah, it's a real.
And there's
thing.
more than
Yes,
just
this is
that.
real.
They stopped it in the prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a retiree that had surgery, and his son came in the room when he woke up and said, "Dad, your insurance was canceled."
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
And a lot of people don't realize that the retirees have taken quite a hit too. What was it? They're not. There's a premium that they're not getting paid anymore, and I think the last 2 contracts they haven't got a raise, but the last 10, 20 years they've gotten raises. Retirees now. These are people that
Yeah.
are retired from General Motors.
You know, and my grandfather passed away in 2016, and my grandmother counts on that little bit of pension that he gets, that $220 a month.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to fight for them too. It's not just us.
Right. Right. Let me think. So what's another myth that needs to be debunked right now?
talk about our $90 an hour.
Yeah, $90 an hour.
$90.
We are not thugs. I promise you. We are not out there
We are
causing
not
trouble.
thugs.
What our word is, we're trying to either convince these trucks to turn around and stand with us, or just derail them and stop them and delay their shipments. Maybe if we can make an impact, GM will see that and say, hey, look, if we don't stop this, they're not going to stop. And we're not.
So are they trying to use the fact that but yeah, was that yesterday or 2 days ago when they actually called the police out there and everything? Are they trying to use that as like to paint you guys as thugs?
Yes.
That is
Yes.
their tactic.
That's exactly
That's
what
their
it is.
tactic.
They
They
are doing that.
antagonize that to try to draw a reaction.
We're
Right.
impeding traffic, which is a
They've been-
citation, and people are going to jail for it.
Right.
They've
That's
been routing trucks from their truck entrance to the employee entrance
On purpose.
on purpose because the daycare's down there, so that they can create a ruckus and make it look like we're creating a problem.
Yeah.
And the daycare people are scared and all that.
And the problem
That's what
is,
they're trying to do.
we're so passionate about what we're doing, and you have a lot of us that when like me and Steve, for example, and Chris,
Right.
and Bob here, I'll tell you, when we get upset, we're just like, we don't think, we just yell.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people do that. We all do that.
right.
Yes.
So we're passionate, and it gets us mad and heated. So when you sit down and you're yelling at somebody, not talking, they don't understand. We have people from Lordstown, Ohio. We have people from Michigan. We have people from all over the place.
Shout out to
And
Michigan and Lordstown.
Everything, there's different laws.
Right.
And I had to explain that to the sheriff this morning, well, the deputies, and explain to them why we were doing this. And finally this morning, they got it, you know, and they were on our side this morning. When I was
Right.
picking, I got there at 2 a.m., I left at 10:30 this morning. Yesterday at 2 a.m., I left at 10:30 this morning.
Right.
And they understood finally,
Right.
for the first time.
So, all right, one of the things that kind of surprises me, I'm from Michigan originally, so we just deal with unions. It's just the way it is. But down here, it's really like it's like spam. You either like it or you don't. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that like you said, the deputies don't actually understand why you're there.
Right.
So and. What's it like while trying to actively do a strike and teach people and like inform people on why you're there at the same
They
time?
think we should just give up our jobs to scabs.
And I've heard a lot
They
of
think
that.
we should just give up our jobs.
To who?
To scabs. Well,
Define scabs for the people.
What a scab is a non-union worker, someone who's basically taking our job in an
Or
event like this.
Crossing the picket line.
Crossing a picket line.
One that's cutting his own throat and don't realize it, because as organized labor membership drops and declines, there's a direct correlation to the standard of living of every American.
Right.
It started back in the 80s with the first trickle-down policy. As organized labor went down, the standard of the average American went down, because everybody benefits when the union gains.
Say that again for all right, so since the 80s with the first trickle down policy,
Yes.
you're talking Reagan, right?
Yep.
All right, so since then, there's been a direct correlation with when the unionized numbers go down, the standard of living for everybody across the board
Yes.
drops also.
Yes.
Now, see, now that's something that I guarantee they is not known.
The data's out there. They just...
Right. And that's what we're doing here today. That's why you guys are here. That's why everything's going on. Is so we can spread this word to more than just people who are directly involved.
Yes.
You know?
Because that that fact right there.
If we're working with our benefits, we're setting the precedence.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So these other companies, they've got to set a standard too.
Yep.
So if our standards are way down here, theirs are going to be even further down.
You think we someone would be paying their employees what they're paying them if it wasn't for us?
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Could you step this way just a little bit so we can see you?
Get you.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We want you on camera too.
Yeah, you
know,
can scoot
Matter
that
of
back.
fact, when the
Yeah,
bankruptcy
take one away.
occurred, I still have it somewhere if I dig it up, because I'm a pack rat.
Right.
There's actually a memo that we have a copy of from Ford, or not Ford, but Toyota, Honda, and Nissan.
Right.
The unions were weak. We were in a vulnerable point because of bankruptcies, and everybody painted the light that it was our fault. But once
Right.
again, we aren't the ones making $22 million a year.
Right.
Right.
That they could now lower the wages and the benefits of their employees because they felt the threat of the union coming in was less.
Right.
So the moment that they think the union's not going
As
to get
soon as
there,
they
the
thought
less
it
they're
would.
going to make. Yes.
Right.
We're not against the company being profitable.
No.
No.
Let's clear that up. Because we have a program, what's called profit sharing. When the company earns $1 billion, we get a $1,000 bonus.
Nice.
So we're not against the company being profitable.
No, we
just
encourage
want
it.
them. We just want them to share some of those profits with the people, the backbone of the company who help build Their vehicles that they're selling.
Right.
They make in between $15,000 and $30,000 every 70-some seconds that a car rolls off that line.
Yes.
Right.
Here's another myth, right?
At our plant.
You got your vehicle. Your average vehicle out there is $30,000. Your average vehicle. 20 to 50, 60, 70, depends on what you're buying.
Right.
5% of that vehicle's cost is us.
25 is Mary Bear in them.
Oh wow!
So-
I got
That's
you.
Is
a
that so
big
real?
So
factor.
25% of car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Again, we
here.
built the
Hold
foundation.
up.
We are building their foundation.
So
All
only
we're asking is
5%
to
of
have a
an
little respect
average
for us.
car.
I think it's went up a little bit. I may have misspoken. I think
Right,
it's went up a little bit to
but
7.
Yeah,
but
it's in
Right.
between 6 and 8%, depending on which analyst you want to, which fudge book numbers you want to
So-
buy off of.
Right.
Proud of you.
Then so
Hold on.
We're
just
like
a-
family, you guys. You have to understand that, okay?
Could you turn the phone down a little bit? Sorry. Go ahead. Whoever's phone that is back there needs to go down. Okay.
But you
Go
know
ahead.
what's
Sorry,
sad?
guys.
I hired in 1995, and that number is about the same.
Right.
So we haven't increased the cost of the vehicle, but the vehicles have increased exponentially compared to what my pay rate and
Then
standard
Then
living
you
is.
factor in all the imports they bring in from Mexico that are even cheaper, and they're making huge profits on that. That's why they keep outsourcing most of our jobs to Mexico.
Right. I was gonna say, what's the chance of things getting moved to Mexico? I mean, how do y'all feel about that?
it's hard to move it overnight.
Yeah.
Not only that, they're having issues in Mexico now because the Mexican workers have demanded and refused to increase their production numbers to make up for our strike.
They had a
So
strike.
they're
not
standing
too
with
long
you.
ago.
They're standing with us.
Oh yeah. I know.
Mexico. Hey.
We
Right.
got the Teamsters that come in and take them cars and bring them. They decided we're going on strike and we're standing with you. So these people that are coming in and getting these cars, they're all independent.
Oh
See, as
wow.
I said
had-
earlier, this ain't just about us. This is about all American workers.
We had
These issues
Teamsters
we're
down here
facing is
yesterday.
worldwide. It's
Yep.
not just in America.
What really screwed it up for us was NAFTA, North American Free Trade Alliance. We need to get that taken care of up in Washington D.C.
Okay.
Because that'll stop this Mexico thing.
Right. Right.
So what happened with NAFTA? Like I've heard a lot about that when
Because you're
Donald
not
Trump says
paying
it was
to
a
get them
bad
back
deal.
across the border. Like if
Taxes.
you had to equalize out
Okay.
when you're bringing them back into the country,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be as beneficial for them to build them down there at such a lesser wage.
Oh, so there's no tax on the actual
So
bringing
they're
them
not
in.
when
Oh.
they're bringing them in, it's minimal. So they're making huge profits on it. That's why they'll build so many units down there and bring them in here because they can make a bigger profit per unit because they're paying those guys what? What is it?
$8.
$8?
$8.
Right.
It's minuscule.
Now
Wow.
let me ask. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What was your experience when you were out there with us?
I mean, let me tell you. First and foremost, I worked out in is it CUC? Is that the building?
Yeah.
I didn't work on the line with you guys. I was cleaning filter press.
But you seen what it was like.
Oh yeah, I was Tyvek suit, and I was working with all the dangerous like chemicals and stuff out there. And a problem I had with it is I was making the same amount of money as the woman who changes the toilet paper in the bathroom, but I was out there with
hazardous.
yes.
That
So
can
it's
cause
worse than the
cancer.
next count.
Yes.
And burn your skin.
Right, yeah. I was in a training class one day. I don't know if you guys remember this a few years ago when they had that, what was it, like a 120 gallon sulfuric acid, the reservoir leaked, and that stuff. And I was supposed to be out there, but I was in a training class on hazardous materials at the time. So, I mean, it was different. I wasn't necessarily on the line.
I've had a lot of experience at gym. I'm a temp worker like a motherfucker. So
Right. What do they consider to you guys? The third parties, the scabs. What do they call them? Scabs,
No,
and then
the third parties are not scabs.
Oh, they're not scabs.
Those are not scabs.
Okay, what is? Are they?
thank you very much.
What are they
Appreciate
considered? I forget what they're considered.
So
But,
they're a subcontractor, they're a vendor.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
all that.
We call
So
them third party. Most of them are union brothers and sisters enrolled
That's
in
true.
1853.
and could you name off some of these companies? Because I know
I
these
can.
people. Well, let
work
them take. Let them take.
You can start.
Yeah.
work
You
for
can
them.
start with the first one.
I can
Name one.
knock these out.
Brandon, go ahead. Name one.
All right. Well, first, my first thought was Ryder.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ryder. Who else? You
Atlas.
guys.
Lead
Lead
act.
deck.
Yeah. Hold on. Stop right there. LEDEC is forced to cross the picket line.
They are not forced. They have lanyards that say
Safe passage.
UAW safe passage, and we are letting them go.
But
Because
have
they
a
are
contract.
UAW just like us.
Right.
But they don't have a contract.
They work for a different company.
They've
They're
been
not
Right.
on
16
strike.
months
Right.
without a contract.
But they are UAW members.
They've gone
Okay.
how long without a contract?
16 months
Yep.
without a
Yep.
contract.
Yeah.
Is that even allowed? Is that
American
legal?
food
They do
vendors.
what they
They're-
call
they're
an
extended.
extension
Extension.
until they come up with an agreement because they make in process.
So an
or
indefinite
whatever.
hold.
Yes.
The problem with the LEAD Act
Oh,
being
they
on
good
the-
with these words, aren't they?
the problem with difficulty with LEAD Act, a lot of the other janitorial services through General Motors are on strike, but they were with a company called Aramark.
Right.
Now there's one master agreement nationwide for all the janitorial services, but we have more than one company under that national agreement. So LEAD Act's holding off to see what the national
The agreement goes
agreement
with
comes out for
the
the whole janitorial
Right.
services.
And let me say
Christ
this
is
about
doing
LEAD
right
Act.
now
Okay.
with us. They're still working. We're on strike. They're holding out to see what we get so that
they don't
Pattern
get
bargaining.
shafted.
And
But some of them
Okay.
have called out.
Right, me and Chris
Yeah,
right here can
okay.
vouch. Sunday night, we met up at Embers to get some food. Because I went in the plant, and I'm a rep, just like Steve. And we walked stamping, skills trade, powertrain out.
Uh-huh.
When we struck. I met Chris at Embers, and there was a whole crew of LEADEC in there.
Right.
And he's selling shirts for $12, and they bought a ton of them.
Right.
Every one of them walked out with a red shirt
Right.
and told us they loved us, and we told them, we got your backs. We understand you have mortgages, you have families.
Right.
Go in there, do your job. You won't have much work, and then when you're done, come stand with us.
Right.
I had
Right.
You know-
100 shirts that night and I was gone in 20 minutes.
Oh wow. Wow.
As long as they ain't doing our job and they're doing their
We
regular
don't
job,
care.
they are not a scab.
Right. Okay. I understand. Sorry, Lee Dick. My
They
bad.
are our eyes and ears.
Right.
I'd like to address working conditions inside the plant.
Okay.
Before you do that, just real quick, what's the significance of the red shirt? Like, why the red?
Solidarity.
Solidarity is our colors.
For the blood of our brothers that were spilt that come before us to pave
Yep,
the
that's
way.
GM has
I knew somebody was gonna give me that. All right, I'm a history buff.
Yeah.
I was like,
They
I
give
know
you the
that.
chills.
GM has blood on its hands from the 1930s.
Yep, my
Yeah.
grandfather
Yes.
retired. He walked out in Framingham, Massachusetts with 1,500 people behind him.
Wow.
People
Yep.
don't realize when it started, they actually murdered organizers.
Right. No, I remember.
Police.
My mother has been on like 4 or 5 picket lines. She said when she was hired in the early 70s, it was like a 550.
Right.
550. So you have to look. A lot of people don't understand what the union has done for the workforce. And think about it. In the 70s, they were making 550. You know, so that's strides
the
to where we
saddest
are
part about it
today.
is That 550, they were living better than we are now because of the cost of living back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
gas was a loaf of bread. Everything was cheaper back then. You could have a one-income family in 1970 and make
That's
that
true.
type of money when you only made 30 grand a year.
Right.
Back
Now-
then, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead.
Back then, if you worked 40 hours, you could support your family with dignity and pride. We have millions of Americans that work 40, 60, 80 hours and still require government assistance to put food on their table.
Yeah. Paycheck to paycheck
That is
lifestyle.
unacceptable in
Go
this
back
day
to
and
the
age.
price of that vehicle. $60,000, $70,000 for a car now.
Right.
$1,500 to $1,000 back then.
Right, right. Yeah, it always trips me out when I watch a show and they talk about like an old Chevelle and they're like, "Yeah, I paid $2,000 for that
Right.
thing," and
Yes.
so I'm like, "Oh,
And like I brought up to you
I'm
earlier,
still paying $2,000 for one of them."
everything the union's done to jump off what he said.
Right,
The union has never been just about the people they represent.
Nope, never.
Unemployment, workman's compensation, paid vacations, paid
Holidays.
holidays, workman's compensation,
Sick
unemployment
union.
benefits.
right,
All these issues that are now laws
Health and
were
safety
brought to you
issues.
by the union.
right. They
We are
were-
the ones that got them.
And you,
Back in
Your
the
chemical
60s
training
when we were
class.
30% of the world
and you
working
know,
force, that's what got them. Over a third of your country was organized. We demanded it, we stood as one, we stood strong, and we got it for all.
That's right. You know, with the health insurance too, people are like, well, we pay premiums, and people don't realize, I've been there since 2016. I've been through 2 surgeries.
right.
These jobs are not easy.
Oh, I
They
understand.
tear you down. You are sore every day. And when I first started, we ended up being on critical status, which was 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right.
And it's hard. So if our bodies are breaking down like this, by the time I'm 40, by the time I'm 60, I'm going to be in bad
Right.
shape.
I'm 34
Why
years old,
shouldn't
yeah,
you be
yeah,
paying our
yeah.
premiums as much money as you're making off of us?
I have on my shoulder alone. I have where a chemical dripped in paint. It's just a drip, just a single drip.
Yeah.
And it's a discoloration All my
Oh, that came from.
that comes from the plant.
And I work,
Yes.
and I work in the paint shop. But I'm
Yeah.
not on the line covering his alternate committee.
Right.
I'm in the paint shop.
Right.
To prove these jobs aren't easy, being an auto worker, look up everywhere there's an auto factory and just notice how many physical therapies there are,
Oh yeah.
how many bone doctors there are, how many orthopedic surgeons there are.
Right.
They are imploded right there around
Right.
all the auto factories for a reason. Our
Right.
jobs are very difficult. We're not lazy and overpaid like
No.
everybody thinks.
No.
We don't
We
all go
sweat.
in there and sleep, take naps all day because somebody's building them cars and rolling them down the line.
When
And
I
we
first
sweat.
got hired into Ford Motor Company in 2000, you'd meet people coming out the gate. Hey, how you doing? Got all my fingers and toes. We're good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's that real in there.
That's tough.
I'm 34 years old and I got nerve damage in my right elbow, and I've been employed by General Motors for 3 years.
It's
And
not
GM
easy.
won't do anything for me, and I got workplace incident reports.
Oh wow.
They won't do anything for me.
Yeah, and you were about to say about the work conditions. I think that.
I mean,
leads
you
to
know,
that.
I've been
Pretty
stuck on
good.
the same job for 6 months at a time. You know, repetitive. What you're doing is you're assembling the same thing over and over again every 60 to 70 seconds.
Right.
Roughly 70 some seconds. And some jobs have heavy things you got to pick up. That's anywhere from 40 to 50 pounds. Usually about 45 pounds. We do have air-assisted hoists and stuff like that, but
Right.
you still got to bear the weight of that stuff.
Right.
You're doing it for anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. You're doing it for 2.5 hour runs
Yep.
without a break.
I'm lifting
So
hood after hood.
you're constantly
Hanging
constantly
doors.
moving.
And
Yeah.
putting plugs in the car and sealing them.
Right.
And sometimes we run 310 cars off my line.
Are we complaining? No, it's a good job, but it's very strenuous on our bodies.
And it
Right.
just needs to
You
be
know,
And
understood
we're
by
just
other people.
showing the importance of the health insurance and the
Yeah.
importance.
And that's why
Yeah, go ahead.
that's why it's important that we have extra things on our healthcare like chiropractor care.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yo,
it is. It's
Thank you.
important.
We don't right now.
No,
dude.
Yeah, shit.
All right.
It's out of our pockets.
Well, at Adient, we have to keep it, you know, with GM runs. And just maybe like 2 weeks ago, whatever, we were doing 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts, whatever.
Right.
So I knew it was gonna be a good check though. And I started walking around and I started asking people like, "Yo, what does a chiropractor do?" And they're like, "I really don't even know." Like so all of us like talking. We're like, "Hey, I think I need a chiropractor." They're like, "I think I might need one too." And like we finally our like team lead came down the line and we're like, "Hey. Like, can we get like a chiropractor? Like, all of us go see a chiropractor. Can we get that like written off or something like that?" He was like, "Yeah, you wish." Like,
Good luck with that.
but man, we need a chiropractor on them.
Yeah,
I don't
we
even know
do.
what they
We
do
do.
like that. It's just
It's like taking a good massage where they crack
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Is the union in Adient?
not what's well. The way that it was told to me when I got hired,
Oh, be careful.
We
Be
love
careful.
We love how that works.
Yeah.
Don't we?
that we have a union. The contract isn't done, but we already have a union rep. The union rep only works on night shift, so we ain't seen that nigga yet. so we got a union, we just don't know it. And the contract is there, it just ain't finalized.
Right.
So we ain't got a union.
And even if it is finalized, even with just one union rep on one shift,
It's not easy.
going to be enforced.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
nothing. We don't really get anything out of it.
That's why you need to vote for Bernie Sanders. He's putting a law.
Ooh, bro,
Bernie's
you need to
not
listen to the
he's
show.
right
We are
behind us.
here,
He's
bro.
right behind
We're not going political today.
I know.
We're not going political.
I knew he was gonna do this, so I ain't even
Hey,
brought him up
but
yet the
I'll
whole
say
time.
this.
We're not
Bernie
going
Sanders
political.
is
Go,
at our back.
go
I can
Sanders.
say that.
Go Sanders. This man, he stands with the union, bro.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Man, I want to bring him up so bad. I was like,
We got you,
don't
got
do it.
I had one segment I was going to go down that road.
Right.
As he's talking about union reps too, you know, let me just throw this out there. Me and Steve are union reps. We're both alternates. And our job is not easy. I mean, you know, and we try, and this right here, she's in my zone, okay? and all she's got to do is pick up a phone and vent, and I'm always there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all about communication, but it's not easy. So just give us time.
Right.
You know, everybody's got to work with us.
Right. So, let's talk about some of the incidents y'all have experienced on the picket line. And how many of you guys, is this your first time picketing?
Mine.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the incidents out there so we can debunk some of the stories. Okay. Let's start off with the truckers. and what's going on with that?
Tell you what.
Did somebody get hit by a truck?
I've got a video of the
Several.
truck trying to run us over.
Several?
Yes. This
Several.
morning, one almost hit me, and I was just trying to cross the road.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a deputy run up there and jump in the cab and be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, it's
Right.
not gonna fly." But if they're not giving us a chance to even talk to them. I mean,
Right.
like I said, we just want them to stand with us, turn around, or we're gonna make you wait.
They
Right.
hit people with trucks.
So
Yes.
they're like,
They grazed some girl's leg and cut it wide open.
Go ahead, Jazz.
Huh?
Go ahead, Jazz. What you asking?
I was just, somebody really got hit by a truck.
A few people got hit,
Monday.
not just by
That
trucks.
really happened?
I have video of truckers passing people on the shoulder of the road on 396 coming into an on-ramp. So that shoulder of the road turns into an on-ramp.
And
That's how
there's a
dangerous
full
these
truck.
guys are being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Full transport truck.
What gives them
So you got
the
17 vehicles
And
on
in the
There is no
video,
way.
you can see the trailer rocking because he went onto the berm, so the whole road.
Oh.
He's lucky he didn't tip over.
Why they being so like
Aggressive.
Yeah. What's going on?
But they
here?
think we're being aggressive.
And we're not.
We're not. We're just trying
They're in
to
a
stop them.
truck. Like you're an 18-wheeler. Like,
Yeah, it was just
Can
people
you see
exiting the
her stopping
plant.
a truck?
yo.
Hey, listen, I might be small, guys, but y'all
Right.
know. I got me a pal. You know me. You've known me forever.
Right.
We've got video where we're trying to slow a truck down,
Yep.
see what his intentions are. Are you with us? Can
Yeah.
hang
me-
out, hold some things up?
Let me jump in here. Explain to the viewers what your purpose in stopping the truck is, so they'll understand
All right, so
what you're doing, why
we're on-
you're doing
We're on
it.
strike. Okay, I have friends that are independent truckers in Michigan. They haul storm equipment, stuff like that. Right?
Right.
They got on my Facebook. Hey, you ain't doing the right thing. That's not right. You shouldn't be blocking traffic. Number one, we're in a different environment. We're not blocking traffic. We're an access point off of the main roads.
Right.
So it's not affecting traffic at
At
all.
all.
All right. So that truck going into that plant to pick up vehicles, that's giving the company more dollars. That's enabling them to make more money.
Yeah.
We're not against them making money, okay? But they're not going to make it while we're on strike with non-union scab drivers, okay?
Right.
It's a double-edged sword.
Because where are we getting our
If
funds?
they get all them cars out, they got no more cars. They got to make more, right?
Those cars that we built.
But if they don't get them, they're not making the profits on those, and then the
The
board
pressure.
directors and stuff are on them to get these plants running again because they got to get these cars out.
Right.
That's
So it's a
our
double-edged
biggest tool.
sword.
Yeah.
So technically, they're extending the strike by contributing to General Motors.
Exactly.
They're going to lose
Right.
their jobs as soon as we get back up and running and the Teamsters go back to hauling cars. It's not like they're getting anything out of it. There's
It's a
no
cash
benefit
grab for them.
Them to come in and just
Okay.
do it now because it's not a long-term game for them. The Teamsters are going to be back. They have a contract too. They'll be in there hauling cars back out.
So that adds to their aggressiveness. Sorry to cut you off,
That's
but,
right.
but since they know that that's not a permanent job, that's just a cash grab.
Correct.
So they really
Plus, you have
Right.
pretty
DOT
much
regulations.
balls
so
to
that
the
if
wall.
they're
They don't
delayed-
care. They can go on the
They
side
have
step
time.
on the ramp.
I had a driver.
That's dangerous.
Man, I got to get in there. I got to get that load. I got a family to feed.
Yeah.
Dude, there's 4,000 of us out here that's got families to
Yep.
feed. And I'm sorry, but
Exactly.
our 4,000 families trump yours.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're out
So
there
you're
for
an
his
independent
family just
trucker.
as well.
You can go pick a load up somewhere else.
And
you
we
don't
had
have to
one-
give
You
this
made
load.
a decision to come here, take work from the Teamsters, and undercut them
Yep.
for the short time that you're going to get to while we're on strike
Yeah.
because you wanted to feed your family when you could have went elsewhere and hauled other cars.
Right.
You
Could have
chose
went and
to come
hauled
here.
We had
beer
a-
for this company.
We
Yeah.
had a
Ford and
trucker
Chrysler
stop
still
the other
pump 'em
day.
out.
We weren't even holding him. He
Right.
stopped to argue with us. And he's like, this company doesn't give a damn about y'all. And they were like, well, they don't care about you either. So
No.
get out of the truck and stand with us. I have mouths to feed. So I was like, look, I got 6 to feed.
Yeah.
And a grandbaby. And he was like, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, well, get out and stand with us.
Right.
Be proud. We'll back you. Our union will back you if you get out and stand with us.
Right.
He wasn't having it.
Yeah.
But that's lack of
We did have one-
information.
And-
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that
Yep, we
statute
did.
said with the union and the standard of living.
Yep.
I think once you know that type of information, you can't really just be like,
Yep.
oh,
Well-
the hell with what you guys are.
And there
Right.
are some of them out there that are with us. We
Yes.
had one pull up at Northgate. It pulled up. It started backing up. It turned around. It's going the
Yep.
wrong way, right? It's going the wrong way. He's getting out of there. Well, then he got a ticket. The city stopped him. He pulls back up. He's, hey guys, I support what you guys are doing. I don't want nothing to do with this. We're going
And
somewhere
we've had a
else.
few of them.
Gotcha.
And
So we let him go.
Right.
And that's the point we're
That's
trying to
really
make.
cool.
If we can get one truck to turn around, guess what? We made a difference.
Yeah.
We got through to somebody.
Why should
Yeah.
that company make money when we're not?
Right.
And you're the workers for the
After
for
they
the
went
damn
back
company.
on their word, we were supposed to have our health care until October 1st.
Yeah, that's
Then they
what-
What's
went back
going on
and
with the
pulled-
healthcare? Yeah,
That
I
company
heard
is
about
only
that.
want to give us 2% of what we're asking in
Well,
our contract.
No, I think they mean like the agreement was if we go on strike, we keep our insurance until October 1st, so that we could all register through the union to have our benefits. And everybody finds out Monday that it's cut off. And some of them went to go into chemotherapy, and they get in there and they're like, "You don't have insurance." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
They pay our premium for our health insurance the first of every month.
Yep.
So it was already paid for.
Going
It
on.
costs them nothing to leave it alone.
Yep.
It costs them to go cancel that.
In the
They
insurance
intentionally
world,
did that.
us
It
going on
costs
strike
them
is
to cancel
basically
your
kind of like you
insurance.
quit your job. So when you quit your job, your
You still have
insurance
insurance.
rolls till the end of the month.
Yeah,
Every
right.
job.
They
Cut it
went in
off.
and manually.
Yes. They
You
went
guys
in
went
and
on strike, we're
manually,
done.
And that's Mary Barra.
and they've never
Oh,
done that in the
yeah.
past.
And then they want to
Spiteful.
get on national media and talk about how they care about us and how that they want this. They offered us a good
They
deal.
gave us good deals.
What do you
right?
What do you
Yeah.
mean a good deal? You just cut off.
Listen,
like,
Just-
fuck
I'm
it.
from Lordstown, where I came from an unallocated plant. That language never even existed until last November when they decided to call it unallocated. They
So-
couldn't, because of contractual law, they couldn't call it a closed plant or discontinued product because we had a contract for that product.
Right.
So they used unallocated to close down Lordstown.
They got
Oh,
slick
where's
with
that?
these
Where's that
words.
plant?
Ohio.
Lordstown, Ohio.
Oh, that's what I heard. When all the Ohio
That's
folks
why I have
came
this
in.
shirt on.
And let me
Right.
just set this for the record, okay? A lot of the Lordstown people, you know, they've had a lot of animosity when they came here. And I can say this right now. I'm from Massachusetts. We came in here, there's a lot of plants. And these Lordstown people are like my family.
Right.
I mean, I would trust them more than, you know, anybody out there. I mean,
Shout out to the
right
local-
here,
what is
I
it?
just met Chris on
11-12.
Monday, and
11-12.
I trust him with my
The bad
life.
one.
You know,
Right.
Yeah, we're the bad one. We're
I
the
was-
rebel
Him too,
raisers.
that
I was
Amazing.
now 17-14. That was the good local there.
You know,
Other side of the
you know,
tracks.
we're Italian. We bring anybody in our family.
Right.
They
Right.
just sit there and go, "Oh, they're causing
They're-
trouble."
they're amazing.
Wow. So it's kind of like the push we got from the locals when we came from
Yeah.
Michigan down here in the beginning. That's kind of what the Ohio folks had to experience.
Yeah.
I'm taking.
When we
I was
got down
17
here,
and I had to experience
there
that.
was
It
so
awful.
much segregation, to be honest with you. You have so many new hires that
He's
actually
talking
know
inside
nothing.
the plant.
Right.
And, yeah, sorry. I
Don't you go there,
forgot,
Brandon. Y'all about to start talking about one of his favorite topics.
We get down
a little
here,
different down here.
you got all these guys that were hired in 12 and 16 and stuff, and a lot of guys don't know. we have some that do, and that understand it, but a lot of guys don't. They don't understand, they don't know.
Right.
And that was a big thing for us because back home we had that. You walk through the door. Now, for me, I'm a third generation auto worker. My grandpa was a millwright. My dad retired after
Me
40
too.
years. So I kind of walked in knowing.
Right.
You always had that. You walked into a plant where most of these people had 20-something years. You had that big brother thing. They
Right.
watched out for you. They
Right.
showed you the right way, what you can and can't do, what
Right.
management
What we call
can and can't
solidarity.
accept.
Right.
And some of it wasn't like that.
Right.
But, and the defense down here, a big part of that is where we come from in Ohio, unions aren't new. Unions are still relatively new in the South.
Yeah.
Right. And then
And that's playing a very, very big factor in,
Yes.
in the overall how
That's
people
why I
are
think
looking
the sheriff's
at
department
this
has such a
strike.
hard
Yes.
How's it
Well,
going?
that was
Because they're not
it.
used to
So
it.
it's still
Right.
Right, but when I
relatively
sat
new.
down and
Because what we
explained it,
discussed, the
one of the
correlation,
Yeah.
they've done a good job, the big
Some of them are
corporations, of keeping that information from everybody in the South.
Right.
They think unions are bad.
Yes.
Right, and then you know the natural South-word relation to union. You know what I mean? Which it goes further
Right.
back than just this job. You
Ah,
know?
see what you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did there? Yeah.
history
So,
maybe.
yeah. So a lot of people in the South are automatically attuned to the word union anyway.
Yeah.
Beyond auto workers, beyond any sort of workforce, anything like that. And I think that plays just a small part in it. You know what I mean? You catch a lot of flack from it. But every time I've ever met anybody that's down here that's working in the plant that's really hating against the union and stuff like that, I try and tell them to do their homework.
Yeah.
Because you know, a lot of the big pushing was done in the 70s, you know what I mean, the 80s and stuff like that. And they need to learn where we would be without that.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
we
Oh, you
don't-
gotta
don't
go
know
back
either
further
what
than
we've
that.
done for
Oh,
community.
of
I mean,
course.
Henry Ford was the last one to get in. He literally hired armed thugs. That there's
Prison
pictures.
thugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of the
He was the Jesse Smollett of the auto
when they
industry.
tried to organize Ford.
Battle of the
It was a-
overpass.
It was an all-out brawl.
Right.
When they finally they broke them and they unionized them, and for years we had prosperity with the big three.
Right.
It was us and the UA. It was them and us, and we were fine.
Right.
But they've been holding on to it for a long
And
time. They
we
trying
stood
to
behind them and gave them things so that they could survive for their survival.
Yep.
During the bankruptcy, we all gave up stuff, and then now they don't want to look back and go, "Oh, hey, you're the backbone that got us here. If you wouldn't have done what you
Right.
did, we would have collapsed."
They gave it. Then people gave it up so that we can make this. Let's see what else they'll give us.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
GM cut our health insurance to try to break us.
Yes.
And it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
make
it-
us stronger.
That's not okay.
It's
That's crazy.
that's almost your shield to being out there, battling cars and trucks and
Yeah.
angry people. Now you're out there uninsured. If you get hurt
Nah.
out there,
No, our union's
Our
picked up
union
our
stepped-
insurance.
oh, they got you.
That's
Yeah.
why I
See,
was
we had to
looking
wait
here,
on the
guys.
paperwork.
Yeah.
It was yesterday and today when we registered.
Okay, explain that to the viewers real quick.
The union
Union
put a fund
registration?
together and it pays our insurance. Now we don't have vision, dental, or audio, but our major health care is
Hospital
covered
visits,
up by
doctors, prescriptions.
the
Okay.
union right now.
Good.
So-
No, here's the thing: the union's not paying for that. That's coming out of the dues that we've paid.
Yeah.
Right, that's part of your union dues.
Anything the
so-
union pays for, we've all put.
Just
comes
like
from
our
our-
strike fund.
Good.
With our money that we get, $250 a week, that's us.
Yeah.
Now the reason I said that is because the union is us.
Yes.
There
Right.
is no General Motors, the union, us.
No,
We
it's
are
us.
the union.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Our
Right.
voices are
So-
the last ones to be heard.
Has the union spoken with GM about them cutting the health insurance? Have they given
Yes.
any like
Oh, yeah.
reason
Yes.
behind it, or are they just on some like?
Well, if you've seen the news, the mayor was.
Kind of above our pay grade, but
Yes,
Right.
but there is talks. There
Yeah,
is.
like
If you
I
guys
know
can
didn't
get
wanna
those
political,
people
but
here,
that's the fact.
Well,
if y'all
That's
get them
the
here, I will
environment
put them
they feel they
on.
can get away
I'll
with
say
it.
You want to
this,
talk
you
about
know-
international and what's going on in national media with all of that?
We'll do a whole
they know their
separate
feet
podcast
to
for
the
that.
fire.
We'll do
Right.
that.
cool.
They got to step up for us this time.
All right, because that's just
You
You
know-
got
that's,
too many indictments coming out on that level.
yeah. 'Cause
Can I
that's,
just throw this
like,
out there?
Tyrannical.
Totally off subject.
ahead.
We had the mayor. What was his name yesterday out there?
Oldest, Andy Oldest.
Okay, so he's
Spring Hill.
standing out there and he's lecturing all of
Spring
us.
Hill mayor.
You know, and we just had our zone, our president, our
Uh-huh.
zone, one of our committee reps, and a few of our team members
What
that
do you
got
mean your
arrested.
zone?
Okay, so it ranks like this. You have, we'll start from the bottom to the top. So we have alternate committees, which is us.
Okay.
Then we have a committee rep,
Okay.
which when you have a problem, you call committee rep. If the committee rep's not there, you go to alternate.
Okay.
Okay, and then above the committee you have zone, and then above that you have
Shop chairman.
chairman and then president. Okay.
Okay.
So we had all them getting arrested yesterday, and here we have the mayor standing here. Come on, y'all, let's get it together. This is not the image you guys want to portray. Getting arrested, blah blah blah. What are your children going to think of you? Now,
What?
Now listen to this, okay? Paco, you know my children. They're very,
Right.
very outspoken. You guys have all met them because my kids have stand with me every day, losing sleep. The two that are homeschooled, being out there with me all night.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And I looked at my daughter and I said, "What do you mean? Ask my child if I was to get arrested, how would she feel?" And she said, "I would be damn proud of my mom because she's fighting for something
she
that's
should
right."
be.
Right.
This is like telling our kids, "Don't take the bully. Let the
Right.
bully beat on you.
Right.
No, stand up to the bully.
Exactly.
Fight for what you believe in. What's right is right."
Right.
You know, and that bothers me because how are you going to come at us like that? It's just wrong.
Right.
Mayor of Spring Hill.
No,
was saying
Murray
what
County.
Maury County.
Murray County.
Yeah, because remember, two different gates. We're in two separate entities. We only deal with Spring Hill on the north side.
Oh, that's right. They are
Oh,
split. I
shit.
forgot about that.
Oh.
So you got
Damn.
Spring Hill City police officers that will not interfere.
So that's where we told
Oh.
you, right? The north
We
side
supply
is the
the
truck
north side
entrance.
too,
yeah. You're right.
They was rerouting those trucks to come into the south entrance.
Oh, that makes
by
sense.
what
Different
Hill.
jurisdiction.
And that's
Yeah.
what they talk about the
that's
daycare.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got the daycare right there, so they get to cause a little more animosity.
And the daycare's freaking out thinking that we're going to cause all kinds of trouble because,
They see the police cars there, and the kids are scared.
We're all moms and dads. You know what I mean? Some of us are single
there's
moms
some
and dads.
dirty.
They're
How many
painting a
people that
picture
work
on
at
the
the
Yes, and it's terrible.
That's
That's
Well, you know what?
daycare.
We're redrawing a picture right now.
That's exactly
Yeah.
Well,
And let me just state this. Whoever deleted this man off of our union page, y'all need to add him back because he's with us. He's been with us since day one. He was in that plant.
Do it again.
He got
Come on,
burnt.
bro.
You know,
Come on, bro. I'm here for you. And
we
you
have American food vendings.
Yeah?
One of the girls from the cafeteria,
Yeah.
she's been standing with us every day. She was at Embers with us
Wow.
every
That's
day.
what I'm talking about.
Right.
This battle started way before the strike. General Motors has been picking this fight for a long time. I got
that was
26
my
years
next
in. This
question.
is my third plant, and I've never seen a management team this adversarial
It's
until I got
awful.
here.
All right, now
Can
break
we-
it down for us,
Hold
man.
on, one second. Can we please get a push to get Body's cafeteria back open? Can we do that, y'all?
Yeah, both cafeterias.
Yeah. Oh, what? There's another one closed now?
Listen, we have Body Shop Cafeteria that has not been opened forever.
Yes.
How hard is it to clean the son of a bitch up? Excuse my language.
No, you're good here.
We're on
We
third
talk about
shift.
anything on
We're on
here.
third shift.
For y'all that's turning in the first time, we
And
talk
it
about
is
everything
awful.
on
Talk about
here.
it.
It
We're
is
being
awful.
really
The vending
nice right now.
machines
Don't we're being
Nasty chocolate
We're
and
trying to
nasty
not
steel
shop
potato
talk.
chips.
Exactly.
It is a real
Exactly.
cafeteria. My mom said she go in there and cook, and you know her
Moms
food is
can
bomb.
cook. Moms can cook.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I worked there, we used to always have to get on what are the little trucks called? I don't forget what they're called now. Little maintenance trucks.
Yeah. Just to get over there to get food.
Yeah, the little carts. Yeah, we'd have to go all the way to Powertrain if we wanted something. You know what I mean? Wanted a good meal.
Well, GA cafeteria is working now, and let me just tell you, if I'll call her up and I'll be online, you know, standing in this committee,
Right.
and I'll be like, "Hey, girl, what you got? Can you pull me back some food? Yeah, girl, it'll be in the warmer. Just come get it when you get there."
Right.
They are with us.
Right.
You know,
Awesome.
They always have our backs.
Awesome.
That's love.
Yeah.
You don't want to blow up the spot too much.
She has been there since day one.
What were you getting ready to say, Brandon? I cut you off. I apologize.
No, you good. I want the history of it when you said this it's been brewing before the strike. That's actually what I was sort of like wondering, because if since 2019 is supposed to be the snapback in
2015.
2015.
2015, sorry, and I didn't get it, but you know, obviously the plant kept on running, everything like that. So how much traction has GM been like really like? At what point did you guys at a meeting look at each other like, we're gonna have to do it? We might really have to do it, and because it was talked about a lot, but out of 80. They didn't have any official meetings.
We've known for a year and a half.
It's been just the kind of you walk through the halls and you just feel it. You know it's coming.
Let me tell
There's
you
not
this.
been any real language from
Let me
anybody going,
tell
it's
you
going to
this.
happen.
I called Region 2B, which is up in Toledo, Ohio, a year and a half ago, trying to get information on my father, who worked for General Motors, started in 1960. And he said, basically, he brought this up. He said, let me tell you something. He said, save all your money. Save all your money that you can, because he said there's a day coming next year there's going to be a strike. Our shop chairman here was saying the same thing, and they both don't know each other. So there was word going on.
Oh, yeah.
It was coming.
The thing is, there's so much chatter in that plant. You have to like pick and choose, you know.
It's worse than high school.
But there's always that one bit of chatter that turns out to be accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for that one accurate, there's 100 inaccurate chatters that's going on. So
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
About
But
the
the
ratio.
union knew a year and a half ago that this was.
We've been warning everybody, put money back and save. We
Right,
know it
but
was
we-
coming.
Oh,
Right.
with Hamtramck and Lordstown, I mean, that was just picking a fight right there.
Right.
And you know, they tell us to put money aside, you know, but when you have a lot of kids and you have things that happen, like, for example, I was out on workman's comp and I came back and they tried to throw me out because they said my paperwork was fraudulent, which was a lie.
right.
I proved my innocence, but you get behind and I had to file bankruptcy. And there's a lot of us in the plant that had to do that. Can't get the credit back up. You can't save money, you know, something always happens.
Right.
And it's hard.
You quit a job to hire in at $15 an hour, and you was already making $22 an hour somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But you hired in knowing that the pay scale's going to go up because you're going to get raises, you got progression, and you've got that health insurance.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
why everybody goes there, is for that health insurance.
Exactly.
Before anybody gets on your blog here and talks about how Nissan's so good, how comes every time anybody's got a chance to leave Nissan and come to us, they do?
I did leave Nissan. I did. But let me tell you something. Nissan,
I did too.
not to just talk about Nissan while we're here. Nissan had this machine that you stuck your hands in and your feet in, and it coated it with this stuff. But it made your hands and feet feel wonderful. That's the only part of Nissan I
We need
missed.
that.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Paraffin.
Was it paraffin?
Paraffin. They do it at the nail salons
yeah.
too.
Is it?
That's great. Yeah.
Dude, it was, and you.
How do we get that number?
Look,
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
they mandatory you to do that like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We need that, y'all. We need to put that number.
I know.
Needs
I
to
want
be in the
his
contract.
suggestion. I want a non-staff chiropractor.
There
you go.
Yeah.
All them yoga instructors walking around.
Yeah.
It's a chiropractor.
There's some chiropractors going
Massage
on.
therapist.
But back to the adversarialness that management's had. About a year and a half ago, we had a guy on day shift. They were mandatory on Saturdays.
Right.
His daughter was in a softball championship. Third shift was not. One of our guys to work with, Andy, told Adam, said, go ahead, go watch your daughter play softball. We'll watch the championship. I'll come work for you.
Right.
Management said no.
Yep.
Now, they both do the same job. They're both tool and die makers. They just did it to be
Right.
Well, here's
Just
a lot of
the
things
poke.
that go inside.
Just the
plan.
poke.
Just
So
the poke.
it's those little things where you like,
Yes.
okay, I feel it. I feel it in the air.
Yes,
We
they
was
were
talking-
picking.
You got kids that are sick, like my kids, Kayla with her kidney stones. I had to leave, and I got reprimanded for it.
Yeah.
My family comes first. you
That's
know?
on a point system,
They have
right?
no heart.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a point system. We
Okay.
have a
It's similar.
little doc-
It's docket. It's a point
Different than
system.
Ryder.
Same thing.
Right,
First,
right.
Second,
And
fifth.
here's why they get away with doing a lot of that crap.
That's
okay?
my
He's
question.
talking about we all come from areas where the union's there. We've all been raised that we're all third, fourth, fifth generation.
Yep.
Okay, we know the rules. We know how to do it. We know how to play the games that they want to play. We come down here. They got over 50% temps in there.
Yeah.
Never been in a General Motors plant or a union shop. They don't know.
Know nothing about solidarity. Nothing
So
like that.
management comes and says, "You're going to do this."
And they
That's
do it.
not their job, but they go do it. Well, then they mess something up. Then they get fired.
Yep.
Who stands up for them? There's nobody to
Nobody.
stand up because they wasn't supposed to do that.
Let me just put this as a seasoned temp,
A habitual temp.
habitual temp. I've been at ATCO, TFT, MS, Ryder, and Precision, where they drive
The cars out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been all through. I've been from powertrain, the body, the GA1, 2, LLC 1, 2, all of that.
Right.
Like I've been all through that joint. The only time I ever heard anything about a union or you might be protected or like if somebody comes up and just tells you something, just get a supervisor first.
Right.
Was when I got with Ryder, and I was only there for 3 months because I knew my background check. They do it again.
There's a reason we're doing
I wasn't
podcasts.
missing $15 an hour. Like even if it's just for 90 days, I'm getting all of that.
Yeah.
They did that background check. Like you got passed. Like you got me.
got it.
But that's the only time I ever heard about actual like union or anything. But like you said, when it comes to any other temp, it's like, all right, if GM comes up and tells you something, just go ahead and do it. But you might not know what you're doing,
Right.
and then you end up getting fired.
Right.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen that happen to so many
Yeah.
people, bro.
In the temps, they don't get nothing. $15
No,
an hour.
they do not.
Yeah.
No paid days off. No vacations.
Nothing.
Now is
They consider
Well, they do get
disposable.
health care,
Yes.
but not like what we get.
Oh hell no.
now
No.
is this part of what has stemmed this also? Because I heard I'm throwing rumors out there that part of it was that they had temps that have been sitting for what 3 years.
3,
Right.
5.
5
There's a
years.
few places 6, 7, 8 years. People have been temps.
And
Oh,
It's
wow.
unacceptable.
We got people that were temps all the way back from 07 that didn't get hired until 2012, 2014. Then they stopped, and that's just all temps.
Right.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know,
So what will happen if you guys got what you wanted? What would happen with those temps then?
They become permanent.
They would be
Would that be an instant thing?
Say
Would y'all
that
push
one
for
more
an
time for the people in the back.
They become permanent.
temporaries will be permanent.
Right, right. Ooh, you
Y'all
see
better-
that?
y'all
Here's
better
the
get
other
with
thing
it.
with the temps that we're fighting for. Right now, we have 3 different tiers of pay in there. The temps get one pay.
Yeah.
I get another pay. These 2 guys have another.
Yep.
So how
Tier system is
how did that end up like
In
becoming?
progression
All right, I get the temps might get another, but how do
Our
y'all?
legacy.
We're legacy. We're already at top rate. They're going to have to make them do 8 years before they catch up.
When all this new contract stuff happened in 07,
Oh,
they threw in tier 2 workers. Okay, so tier 2 workers, no pension, They don't top. We don't top out at what they top out at. We're like
No pension.
$3 less an hour or something like that.
I don't know. I'm
And
trades.
they,
I'm
you
different,
gotta
y'all.
add this too.
Oh, yeah.
So you have all these that
Production,
come in
but I don't
and
know.
they got a set date. They get raised, every year. We don't.
Right.
So we have to work that 55 weeks or whatever is a whole year. So let's say we have a layoff of 2 weeks.
It
Well,
just prolongs
our
the
raise
race.
goes
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Right.
Then if somebody's out on workman's comp, there's another 2 weeks. The guy started.
Workman's comp counts towards your raises.
Well, January 25th I started. I was out because I hurt myself. I didn't get my raise till July.
Oh wow.
It's ridiculous.
So
That's not okay.
No.
no. Sorry, you know what I'm saying?
No, Jasmine, did you have anything? You've been
no.
so quiet back here.
No.
She talks. Let's
No,
hear it.
Listen, I didn't know all this was happening. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm with, I hear union, and I've heard of it. And excuse me, earlier I said UAW Hall. I apologize.
She
But
called them the UAW Hall people. We were
I'm
dying
learning all
laughing.
this information because I've never did factory work, but my mom did it. My mom did it forever, and she would talk about it every now and then. And she was at GM for a long time. She actually did the factory work, and then she was the cook back there. So y'all might know her, Angela Armstrong. So honestly, I don't know much about the factory work, so I'm learning all of this. And then the fact that you had said earlier, the things that have been implemented, such as insurance and vacations and paid time off, to know that those things were not even there at first, but because y'all made sure it was something that has to be done, now it's done.
Right.
And for them to want to cut y'all and pay to get y'all insurance cut off, that's devil's work, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
like that's
right.
not even, it's almost like, y'all can be little minions and work your bodies till there's nothing left.
They would love to
And-
outsource everything and pay
Yeah,
them $10
and
an hour
make their
and make their
money.
name on it.
They're not really ever thinking about the people who are supplying their
The
company. pretty
Their
much.
needs, their company's
Their
needs.
company's
Yeah.
GM
needs.
doesn't respect the work.
No,
Yeah.
they lost
Are
the
they trying to
concept.
take
Take care of your workers. Your
Yeah.
workers will take care of you.
They want to take the bonuses. They want to take our
So I'm
insurance.
sorry if I'm so
So the
quiet. I'm
bonus you
just
were
like,
talking
I'm
about, that's
taking
the,
all this in like,
made.
wow, and I'm so glad your daughter was standing there by you with that
Heck yeah,
sign.
like I said,
Sounds
I
like
got
a
them all on
baby.
video. I had my
Yeah.
15-year-old, okay, she was doing the live as I was walking
I
down the
love
pictures.
her.
And she was in the road. They're like, Mama, we don't want to get out the road. I'm like, baby, listen, there's a truck coming. Please get out the road.
That's
We want
right.
to fight with you. Just get out the road. We will in just a minute.
We've got a lot of
You
friends
know,
and
the other
families.
night-
Like you
It's
told your
amazing.
daughter, stand behind me.
Yeah, I mean, and he was there when the trucker was arguing with us.
Sponsoring,
And you know my
revised
kids,
sponsoring for us.
Yeah.
they're out there. They're just like me and my brother. They're gonna fight for what they believe in.
Right.
We
It was
came
just- it
from
was just-
nothing,
it wasn't good
literally.
enough,
We lived in the
They only
ghetto.
wanted to offer us
And
2%
so we know what it was like to fight. And we need to teach our kids like that. My brother getting his shop, that was like the biggest thing that ever happened to us. I mean, I was so proud. So when I got in here
Go big bro.
and I was working and I made committee rep, that was the proudest day of my life. My grandfather, my mom's like, what are you doing? Why are you there every day? Would my grandfather be sitting at home? No. He'd be walking around with his
Right.
people, checking on them and being there. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I've been picketing since Sunday. And we only have to put in 4 hours to get our
Yeah.
benefits.
And my 4
That's it.
hours aren't till Saturday,
And he's
and
been
I've
with
been
me
there
every
over
day.
18 hours a day for the past 3 days.
I've been out there at least 10 to 16 hours a day.
I was up
Sometimes
26
8.
hours.
I'm
yesterday.
running around getting shirts, printing shirts, selling shirts, standing in front of trucks, preventing people from getting in and out of that plant, getting ran over by people,
Look at we're as red as our
Be
shirts. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
You can get up your
No,
truck.
be
I'm a
careful.
night
You guys
shifter.
seen his
I'm there
truck?
every day.
Yeah.
I'm a night
Trailer
shifter.
in the back. I mean,
Yes, okay.
How's that for
He was fixing
solidarity,
to-
man?
okay.
He pulls up and he'll pull that thing so everybody could see.
I put it right there in management's face.
Right.
If they're going to send security out there, they're going to stare at a
I love
UAW
it.
insignia wheel all
Right.
day.
Yeah,
long.
and he's been at the hall third shift every night. But me and him have been back and forth with the pickets. I'll go around. Y'all need anything? Every picket, I just make my rounds. I've been bringing lights and glow sticks and,
Well, let me.
And I don't even have the
What's
money, but I've
needed?
been doing it.
What would you need? Like, if you could, right now, we've got over 100 people listening, and a lot of these people are in our community. What could you tell the community to do to maybe help support you guys? Because financially, y'all, hold on just a sec. Financially, these people support a lot of businesses and a lot. I was here when the plant shut down. What was that shutdown? What year was that?
2006.
Yeah.
Bad.
Hey,
Nine.
Oh, yeah.
2009. Okay.
Everyone in the 9.
That's
I
when I
remember
worked.
that.
Right. So I remember the effect on the community. And it took a while to bounce back. A lot of healthcare companies came here. They said, but when both of these factors are going on and both of these, our economy booms. It really helps a lot of local businesses. So what can the community do? What message can you tell them to help them support you guys?
Just show support.
Show support, because for every one of us loses a job, 7 to 10 people in the community is going to lose a job. 7
Say
to
that
10
again. I love his
For
facts.
every auto worker out there, 7 to 10 people in the community depend on us having our job.
Everybody. If
Right.
we're not working,
Y'all need
plants
water?
completely shut down.
Or-
All those guys are gone.
I don't know.
This guy's laid off because we're on strike.
Right.
Yeah.
How many
The church.
How many-
The church is losing money. Hit the donation button on the WhoDat page.
yes, he's laid off. I went into healthcare.
I was
So.
thinking about setting up a GoFundMe account because, we supply Maury County. But you got to remember, we got Marshall County, Maury County, we got
Yes.
Pulaski, we got Lincoln County, we got people from Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just Maury County, it's
A
everywhere.
good amount of
Right.
people driving
You
from
know?
Alabama.
So
P-Town.
how many factories do you think that are GM related but not GM are on
that are
hold?
affected by
Yes,
this?
it's on
you
hold.
have Magna,
Magna?
Faurecia,
Just in this
Faurecia,
Hold on, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
We got Magna.
Faurecia,
Operation.
Adient,
LCI,
LCI, CLI,
CLI.
CLI, that's Ryder. So that's 4
American
different
Food
ones.
Vending.
Yeah.
Another one starts with the
Well, yeah, but those are third party. I think you want different factories.
Not LEDAC. It's what's the one that starts with the L, dude? They make the doors.
There's
Crap.
one in Lewisburg. I can't remember the name either.
I don't know.
I don't know about
There's
that one in
several.
Louis.
Yeah, there's several.
But there's
And
probably
they-
two,
and
including
these
that one,
people,
that's
what
at least 6.
what message?
About 5,000 workers.
Right. So what message do you want to convey to these people who are now on hold, laid off, waiting on?
Me.
Yeah.
What message
What
do you wanna
message
tell
do you want to
me?
convey to them? Because I see a lot of negativity,
Yes.
but I mean, give them hope. This is it.
Pray we succeed,
Hold
because
tight, brothers, because we're all there for
When
you.
we
Support-
succeed, you succeed.
Support our
Yeah.
union.
yep, the history's
And
there.
our
Every
union
time we
will-
gain, they
A
gain.
lot of those subsidiary companies like yours are a member of our union.
Yep.
You know, if we do well, you do well. I mean, we're all one union.
And that's what people need to understand and really need to know. Like, because.
If it, sorry.
Oh, no.
Go ahead. You go
If
ahead.
it wasn't for that plant in Spring Hill, Columbia and Spring Hill wouldn't be what it is today.
Hey, listen, we
Correct.
provided the Spring Hill Police Department
No.
their vests last year. Okay? Didn't we? School supplies. I mean,
So I think it's yours.
we're not
We-
just one
we-
person.
We
We're
do car shows
everyone.
for the
We're-
Spring Hill Band. I mean,
Right.
We're
Right.
here
We do
for
all kinds of
everyone.
stuff.
We're doing this
Yeah,
for everybody.
Boys
Right.
and Girls Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much money
Boys and
do we
Girls Club?
donate to the community?
One of
United
our
Way gets
retirees
$10 a week
actually-
from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Spring
donate.
Hill
We
Police.
community in the community heavily.
And the-
We volunteer in the communities heavily.
I was just about to
but
say that.
every time we
It
get
was like we bought
raises,
the bulletproof vests
raise our standard of
last
living,
year.
Hey,
it helps pull everybody else up. Organized labor's been doing that for 60 years.
1853 donated the bulletproof vest for Spring Hill Police Department.
And some of them didn't know that this morning when I was talking to them. And like I
They don't know
said,
that.
Spring Hill is not interfering.
Right.
Yeah.
We need 1, 2. We need 3 bulletproof vests also. Yeah. We'll be, yes, we're gonna need
I
that.
came here for video and media.
Your name is
Didn't nobody tell
WhoDat,
me I was
not
going to be on
WhoDat.
camera today.
So, no vest.
I would love a vest.
Hey man, I live like right down the street from you. This ain't that rough.
We are the roughest people in the neighborhood right here. Who that is the roughest thing in this neighborhood?
Damn
So.
right.
You know, and
I
a
wear
lot
a
of
vest
people-
just randomly.
Yeah.
Just in Walmart.
Just on the porch smoking a cigarette, right?
He can go buy him a
Just in
Superman case.
Yeah.
no, and I want to say this too. A
Go
lot
ahead,
of people
go
had issues with the sheriff's department, Maury County Sheriff's Department. There's some of them out there that are union, and it's not that they don't want to work with us. It's they got that upper that they got to answer to.
Right.
And this morning, I'm telling you right now, I had some amazing deputies out there this morning. They gave me cones to work. They put the cones in there. They let us hold up the traffic as long as we needed to.
Right.
I was ready to let a truck go, and he was like, "Nah, we'll let him sit here for a few more minutes." You know,
nice.
it's and you know, my brother does a lot for the community as well.
Right.
And he, remember that big thing with the police department that went down?
Right.
And he stood behind every police officer in this county. All I'm asking is stand behind us.
So in the terms of like supplies, though, is there anything like people can bring like glow sticks?
Man, the public's been great.
The public
They
has
have,
been
they
great.
really have.
Water, Gatorades.
We probably got water for months.
The gas stations
Okay, I
and
got
stuff
water
are
for
bringing
months.
us their pizzas that they're making.
Oh.
People's bringing, I mean,
Olive Garden brought us
everything.
lunch, Buffalo
Yeah, Olive Garden brought
Wild Wings.
food.
Oh, this is awesome.
Right.
Shout out to Olive Garden and BB
They're
Dub.
showing support and helping feed us because they know that we're out there and not necessarily able to make the money.
There's
Yeah.
pet stores
We got
giving free
children to
food
feed.
for the
They're gonna
animals.
feed
If you
us.
afford it,
That's
get free
beautiful.
haircuts.
Do y'all know
Next
where
day.
the hidden water supply in Body is?
No.
It's way up there.
See, look, we can learn.
That used to be that used to be a squatting spot. We would go
No, that's
sit
not
on the cases of water and chill sometimes because it was way up there. It was like, oh man, it was in the rafters, and it's by like a air unit or something. But there's no lights.
Yeah,
Right.
That's where they store some of the.
That's where they store the water, man. And like I would go to just squat. Yeah, I don't work there no more, so yeah, I used to squat anyway. But we go to squat. And there's times right. So I opened the door and the team lead squatted. And I was like,
my God.
bruh. And I said, wait a minute, is that water? And he's like, yeah, this is where we had all the water.
See, like, look.
This is where we got all the water. Don't tell anybody, please.
So back to the community, man. They've been great.
Okay, sorry.
They go. We got a location right in front of the Target there. They run in there. They grab stuff. They
That's
come
what's
out
up.
and drop it off.
So there's a location right in front of the Target too.
Yeah, the
Right.
crossings.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, that's what's up.
Oh,
We got to supporting, man. Like so,
5 or 6 pickets.
realistically, like for people like me, once again, what are we looking at in terms of like length of strike? And I know we touched on it.
Nobody knows how long.
Explain to them how our agreement works. So most of the time when we have a tentative, we'll go back on good faith.
This time we're not. This time, if we get a tentative agreement, they come out tomorrow morning and say, "Hey, we've got a tentative agreement." Usually, we'd go back to work while they rolled it out to us, and we'd vote on it and all that.
Right.
This time, we are not.
Okay.
We won't go back until
Until
the
we vote
agreement's
yes.
ratified. So it'll be a week or two after they get a tentative.
Right.
They'll have to bring it out, roll it out to all the membership. Everybody votes on it. Then once the membership says yay or nay, then we'll go back.
And
to
why
work.
are we doing it that way now?
What's that?
Why are we doing it not coming
One
back until
reason-
the tentative is
One
passed?
Because
reason we're
one
not
reason-
working without a
No,
contract.
he knows, so I'm just.
It's very reasonable.
It sound like some
We
I
can learn
know,
a
but
lot
I'm not
from
gonna say
him.
it as well.
Because they don't want to put them out there, get them back in. We vote it down, and then we're all in this process all over
Right, it
again.
all starts all
We're going
over.
to stand out there until we
We're-
demand that they give the
we're
American
standing
worker
tall
a
and
fair
hard.
share.
Right.
And let me just say this again about the temps, okay? I just want to, when I was campaigning, okay, there was a temporary that said, how do you feel about temporaries? And this goes for all of us. And I looked at him, I said, do you sweat? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I do too. Do you work hard? Yeah. Well, so do I. For me, we sweat the same, we work the same.
Right.
You're just equal as me. But this is the difference. Temporaries get 3 days a year. Okay? And they
Oh.
have to be approved.
Yeah, I'm about to say maybe.
Now,
Maybe.
temporaries don't benefit from our profit sharing.
Right.
And it's awful. Tennessee state laws, the temporary is only supposed to work 1,250 hours. After that, they have to be laid off.
That's
And-
like your little brother getting an ice cream cone when he was a kid, and you don't get one.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
and
that wouldn't have
then-
flew.
And the worst part about it is, when a temporary, let's say you've been at my plant for a year, and they finally hire you in. Well, your hire date is the day that you hire in.
Right.
Right.
And they take away all that time.
Right.
So if we're
don't they
right
go
at the
back 90
brink
days?
of 1,850 hours to make that profit share check,
Right.
and you hire in December, guess what? You ain't getting one.
And for people that don't understand the importance of that, it goes beyond just profit sharing and things like that. If you see a job you want, you've got you're the low man on the totem pole
You
for
don't get-
seniority, you don't get that.
Temporaries don't.
You get, and you can be, let's say you need first shift. Let's say you get hired on first shift, and they got it.
Vacation.
Since you're the low man on the totem pole, they can bump you to third shift because somebody with more seniority.
And just like the vacation.
Temporaries
They get
technically
bumped all
can't bid
around,
on
really.
jobs.
Right. Well, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about once they get hired on and they lose all that
Yep.
3 years.
Hey, and that bumping might go 3-4 times within a month.
Yes.
Because someone else said, "Oh, hey, there's a low man on second. Now I want to go to seconds because I'm the next highest." And
Boom.
Yeah.
Man, you
Effect.
jump
And,
in.
and just like that, same way with vacation. let's say he puts in a vacation day, and I put in a vacation day, and we only have 5% that can take off, or 7%. He's got high seniority, so I don't get the vacation day he does.
Right. Bumped.
Now,
Yeah.
Bumped.
I do want to touch on what you were telling me a little bit ago about the 2%. They trying to get.
Yes.
They'd only touched on 2% of Monday as of Monday. They'd only touched base on 2% of what we were demanding.
Yes.
As
And we-
the union.
2% of our resolutions.
So 98% of them is still there,
Right.
just sitting there.
Now, we did get a letter today from our local president saying that they have made more progress and they're going to continue to work in through the weekend. But that's all
That's
we know.
still, but 2% is like more progress. Like, all right,
If we had 1,000 hands, they listen to
And we
20.
could tell you like some of the resolutions
I don't know.
was to
We,
take away
Demand some of
tier
the
program.
demands.
we might
Yeah.
have
Yeah, like
Tier
that's what.
program, higher the temps.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Hold on,
it could have been 1,000 or
Right.
better.
Can we get like a full like rundown of what actually like you know what I'm saying?
There was like 5,000.
Yeah, that's not going to
There's
happen.
no way
Oh,
to
well, I
Maybe a
mean, you
couple.
thought, yeah.
Right.
The big one.
Yeah, give us some points.
Yeah.
Let people know it's just
Bullet
it's not all about you guys wanting more money.
No.
Yeah.
we want things like per diem managers. What a per diem manager is when they go from the union and they go to management. When you jump ship from the union, you should not be allowed back in our union.
Right.
Okay, but
Or
so
in
what they feel like they shouldn't have to honor that because
Well,
that's
they
not
cross
a
over and come
that's-
back. I mean,
Yeah,
that's been
like
going
6
on a long
months.
time.
Yeah.
Or
But now it seems like down here they don't hold it. Like back home, they had a time limit on there. It was like 180.
It's still there. It's still
have
on
it.
National
you know,
Grid.
and like
Okay,
with the per
but
diems,
I
for
see
example.
some that aren't.
No, they're jumping out and then going back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What did you
For a
So
say?
if you get per diems, and let's say somebody hired him with me and he became management, they're in the same. They're working in the same area they started, and that shouldn't. We're trying to take that away. We're,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to work in the same department because you're working with your peers, and
Right.
then now you're treating them like shit, and it's horrible.
And that is an
Right.
issue, but that's a minimal issue. We're not on the strike over
Yeah,
that.
that's
Give
really
them
the
give them
issue.
top
but-
10 bullet points. I know 5.
Yeah, and we're on strike. Well, you go ahead. My
All right,
throat's
so
getting sore.
hire the temps.
Yep.
All right,
Insurance.
full pay everybody. Right,
right.
like not no tier 1,
tier
tier
2
tier
Tier
2,
tier-
tier 3. We're talking everybody make the same wage.
or
Right.
have the potential to be able to make
You know,
the same.
everybody have the same insurance. We want our insurance back the way it used to be.
And we
We
want to
we want paid insurance, $2 prescriptions.
Right.
You know,
raise
We
the
want, we
pension.
want COLA back,
COLA back.
pensions
Raise the
back.
pension.
Everybody have a pension, not just the top guys.
Right.
Everybody, you hired on your full pay, you get a pension after 30 years.
Yep.
Okay.
So
yeah,
there's
that's not,
there's the top ones that I'm fighting for.
So again, does that look like it's just us? Or no, we're
no.
fighting
Very
for
first
everyone.
thing he said was to hire the temp.
Right.
I mean, there's
Right.
a lot of them that
That
get,
is the
you know,
most important
business
yeah,
issue.
it
owners.
is.
Yeah.
It is unacceptable for a brother or sister to work beside me hand in hand for 4 or 5 years and still not have a permanent job.
Yeah, that was part of the reason I left Nissan. Because I was hired in at Nissan. I think I was only making at the time at like $12 an hour, and they said I'd have to put like 3 or 4 years in as a temp,
You report the second shift. on
working side by side
That's
with
it.
somebody that's making $30 an hour.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
that
you
was
left 'cause it
frustrating.
wasn't union.
No.
It was planned.
Hey, well, I mean, just saying though, that's part of the reason I left Nissan.
Up
So,
until 07, you hired in at $15.11 an hour, and it took 3 years to progress to top pay.
Yep.
So
Okay.
every 6 months, you was getting a raise.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like, man, I hit the lottery, hit the lottery. All right, I'm topped out. Dang, but man, I'm still making a lot of money. You know, I
Right.
can support my family. I can buy a new car. We can go on a vacation every now and then.
Yeah.
Now, it ain't that way.
Imagine
Yeah.
once the 8-year progression, because they say it takes 8 years to be proficient to do the job.
I'm getting
You know what they
$2 more
train?
every year.
Call people
A
that
raise.
train for 8 years to do a job.
what?
Doctors and lawyers.
Right.
Yeah,
It don't
that's
take
true.
8 years to put a fender on a car.
Right, right.
You said 8 years to do the job.
But
Like
don't
that's
make
college.
light of our-
Yeah, that's
a
college.
doctor and
Don't
a
make
lawyer.
light of our
Yeah.
jobs either.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not saying
not
they're
to
easy,
be-
but it don't take 8
yeah,
years
it
to get
don't take
proficient
8
at
years,
it.
and not just that. In 8 years, how many model changes did we have?
Right.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Always training.
Thank you.
We didn't go to school for 8 years, 4 years to become a doctor. Okay, I got a friend right now on my Facebook dogging us saying that we're not trained labor, or we're not trained professions like a doctor or a nurse or whatever. We're not skilled labor. That's what it was. He said.
Okay.
But we are. We're
Yeah.
constantly changing models. We have to debug.
Constantly.
They change a model. They put a fender on there. We have to see how it fits. We have to debug how it fits, so
Yeah.
they can send it back and make the alterations.
And
Right.
every year
Especially
they got
these
to
new
do
ones.
models.
The engineers say it works on paper. Don't
That,
necessarily
Yeah.
know what's in the real
if you
world.
really
See, your
work in the
friend has
factory,
been
you know what the engineer is saying.
Brainwashed with that.
Right.
That people have different value based on their standing in life. I'm no better than that person that cleans the bathroom.
Right.
They're no better than me.
Right.
Right.
We're all the same. We just got different jobs to do.
right.
Nobody's any better or
The-
worse than the other.
The public, not all the public, but most of the public thinks we just lazy. We stand in there, we push buttons, running robots.
It's not true.
No,
That's
there's
not-
no
that's not
robots
true.
that you can
We're the
push.
robots.
I will
It's
tell
very
you.
hands-on.
I will tell you guys. Every time I get a job, my little secret hope is I get a job where I only push a button.
Right.
Like, 'cause
I challenge anybody to get on YouTube and YouTube General Motors.
they don't even have a job where you push a
Look,
button.
I'll tell you
YouTube.
what.
I
what
so
it's like
badly
on the
wanted to
inside.
just be there, just like.
Inside
So,
of a-
for example, where
I
on
love.
my
Oh,
Hey, how
On
many,
my
how many
line-
times have we lost that actually just quit because they can't do it?
Right.
Or they don't want to. They
Right.
say, no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
right, yeah, man.
You know, I mean, like, they make it sound like it's, but it's really not. Like,
No.
you know, it's a skill set that you have to, you know, and you have to almost be ambidextrous to some degree because
Yeah.
think about it, you're starting this screw here,
Right.
this screw
And
here,
then-
and then you're going to shoot it.
And you trying
And
to
you have to
reach
do-
Carpal tunnel and everything.
And even
else.
if you can do
the
it,
little tack time.
both
man.
hands,
You
pulling
see,
rotator
man.
even if
cuff.
you can go in there and do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, you just went in there, you learned a job, you can do it. All right, now do that in a minute. 60
Because it's a
times
minute.
in an hour.
It's a
Right.
minute.
It's not,
For
I
12
can't do it.
hours,
It's, you
for
have
7
to
days.
want to do it.
300
Yeah.
times a shift.
That
Yes.
was like when I worked for Delphi, where they used to build, I think, the brakes for you guys. And one of my jobs was I lifted up like rotors, and they were like, they're about. Say what?
I'm trying to see what the comments say.
Oh,
Keep talking.
Yeah. So I used to have to lift up these rotors and put these hubs in them and stuff. But to make production, it was like 2,500 parts. So the rotors were about 30 pounds. So that's 2,500 reps
Right.
of 30 pounds
Right.
every day.
Right, and look
Yes.
at paint shop, okay? We got a minute to do this car, and we have to put front pieces on the hood. And I'm lifting 2.5 hours, hood after hood after hood, putting plugs in the car. And now the new cars, we seal 3 different cars. I got a tail light that I got to take a gun, shoot it, take a tool, skive it, make sure there's no holes. Within a minute.
Pray that screw doesn't cross thread.
Right.
Oh, isn't that the nightmare, y'all?
And just
Oh,
be
gotta
like,
get
Stop
across
that
you
line,
know?
and if you're a temp and you keep stopping that line, you're
fired.
gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I think you get like 2. And like 2, like the
You
first.
get 3.
That's
You get, is
not-
it 3?
You get 3
Yep.
defects before management comes and bugs you.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that might
wow.
be in GA, but paint's a little bit different.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But you know, and it's repetitive, like you said, and
Right.
then we got to lift tailgates. I mean,
Right.
it's not easy.
It's
Yeah.
not, and then to be doing all that work, and you're doing a 12-hour shift, and you're doing it for 7 days a week, and you do that for 2-3 weeks at a time, and you finally get 2 days off, and then they come and they want to take your fucking bonuses and your insurance and shit.
Oh, wait.
I see why we're at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I see why we're
In
here.
third shift, for example, let's bring that. Can I bring that up, please?
Yeah.
So we started doing Sunday to Thursday, okay?
Mhm.
And
the way
we,
the rest of the
And paint's always had some fucked up hours, right? And
yeah,
work schedules.
paint and body. When we were doing Sunday to Thursday, we would come in an hour early.
Right.
We'd come in at 9. So all of a sudden they decided, well, hey, we're doing away with that. We're gonna make it Monday through Friday.
Right.
And first shift's supposed
Just
to be
out of
lead
nowhere.
shift out of nowhere, you know. And we third shift are still picking up all the slack.
Right.
Out of
No.
nowhere.
Maybe let's be there 12 hours into
12
Saturday
hours
morning,
into Saturday
on Labor Day
morning, so we
weekend.
don't get
Yeah.
Right.
really 2 days off.
Yep.
We get out at 10:30 on a Saturday morning.
So your kids have Saturday and Sunday off. So hey, we go to work Sunday night. That's our Monday.
Mhm.
I'm not on third shift. I've done third shifts.
Yeah.
Right. I know they're tough. So your kids are off on the weekend. Well, all right. So you're up all day. So you wake up Saturday morning because you didn't go to bed because you just got out of work. Your kids
just
are
got
up.
out.
It's Saturday. You want to spend some time with your family because you've been
You
working
sleep.
7 days a week. All right. So now I've spent the day with my kids. We went to the beach. We get home 5 o'clock. Get everything packed away. Right. Put it away. It's time to go to bed. Oh wait a minute! I gotta go to work in an hour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
To where if you
Yeah.
start on Sunday, you end
already-
Friday.
Yep.
So
You
you have
already
your
in there.
Saturday.
You're rolling over. You got your whole day to catch up on your sleep.
Right.
I'm a third shift.
You
right
got
now.
your Friday to
I mean,
catch
I
on
love
your
third
Friday.
shift.
I
I love
love
it because
third
I'm
shift.
always with my
But
kids.
when they switched it up, man, when they
that's
switched it
when
up,
it got bad.
and once again with that picking type of stuff, especially if you know you're dealing with third shift workers, you can't switch a sleep schedule up like that.
No,
You can't
right.
just do that to people.
No.
And if I remember correctly, it wasn't a heads up. It was next week this starts.
Correct.
Right.
Like,
Or-
We did it for the launch of third shift. Remember, and there was a time frame. We're going to do this for the startup.
Yeah.
And then they up and switch it back and said it was for launch purposes because this way day turn will be the and now here we are. We're still doing it. I've talked to buddies in Flint. I've talked to buddies in Fort Wayne. Nobody else is doing that has this jacked up schedule. Everybody else's midnights
So
is
it's
a
just
normal
here.
midnight.
They're claiming
It's
annual.
just-
So that
They tell us
exemption.
everybody else
They're
is.
claiming annual exemption.
Okay.
They're
Well,
claiming
but
annual exemption.
we can do that because it's a launch.
Because we're in launch and we have not hit line rate.
So for the people listening, mostly like local, when you mentioned earlier that down here that the management you never seen it as
No.
like thrown out. What's the difference between Ohio or Michigan or what's the difference here that
They
got
knew
this
where the
got us?
lines were.
Okay, so
Because
here
they-
they're just fucking.
Oh yeah,
they're
because
just pushing.
Where the hell they
back
want?
home the lines
Wow.
were drawn in the sand years ago, and they knew you go to this is the point,
Right.
and they respected that. We had a mutual respect.
Right.
Here's the line. I won't cross it on my side. You don't cross on yours. Down here, they just keep pushing and pushing and
Yep.
pushing, and as far as they can go with it, and nobody pushes back.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing with that
Yeah.
is they've pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed so much, right? We call and put in committee calls. We're writing grievances left and right.
I was about
There's
to.
so many management in there and so many new people and stuff that there's so many grievances written that our
They can't even get to
committeemen can't keep up with it to push the lines back where they're supposed to be.
So it's like an avalanche right now.
It
You
is.
got
Yeah,
a
it is.
shovel.
Right.
And you're like, oh no, it'll work. It'll
Right.
be okay.
Just thinking boat with a bucket.
You've got some
Golly.
management in there that don't respect the fact that it's a union shop. I had a manager one time come walking through my job, shaking his head, saying, "I wish this wasn't a union shop."
Wow.
Wait, can you even do that shit? Like, can you like
Well,
just?
They can say it, but it ain't gonna happen.
So
Right.
in 2015,
my
when they
response
did
was,
this,
well, if you don't like it, go back to Nissan.
yeah,
Right.
I don't want to say what my response was. On camera.
I'm going to tell you why they do what they do. 2015, when they did this contract, there's what's called paragraph 8. Basically tells us that the company can run however they see fit.
Well,
That
And
wasn't 2015.
Yeah, they've
Well,
always
the-
had that.
That's been in there
But-
since the first agreement.
but I'm saying, like, when we all came back, you know what I mean?
Well, that's
They're
their response.
overreacting in that paragraph, and it's
That's-
ridiculous.
that's
They,
the
they
response
use
every
that
time.
clause.
Every time
They're
something
taking it
happens,
and just-
well, it's
Management
paragraph
has
8.
the right to
Right.
manage. They use that clause all the time.
And they do within the guidelines of the agreement that we even negotiated.
Right.
They forget that part.
Right.
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 So I know it's a nationwide strike, but it sounds like here it's a little bit different. They're really pushing. Well, don't know what the lines are. There's no
Right.
line.
Well, they're pushing
So-
everywhere, but here a little more than the
With the
rest.
strike,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same everywhere.
Yeah, that's
But with
what I
the
was.
internals of the way the business is ran, it's different here than it is everywhere else.
Wow.
We don't have the same support down here as everywhere else.
We're-
We're closer to international and the big honchos that can push harder than
For
what we
example.
have here.
Okay.
Flint Police Department
Pretty much
is
the same
delivering
line.
pizzas to their people.
Oh wow.
But you got to remember, a lot of the police departments up north are
UAW.
Right. And that's another thing. I mean, I was talking to a police officer last night that he can't get the insurance through them because he's a veteran and he's got veteran insurance.
Wow.
And it's sad because they should be union.
Right.
Every one of them should be union.
Right.
Now, because lack of information once again, as you said, they should be union, but they're not.
Right, and a lot of people think they are.
And so, how do you change that? Does this strike with that bid?
No, that's not going to have any.
But I'm saying, do you think it would corral them and be like, you know what, we should be union too?
I hope so.
I hope so.
It's hard in the South.
And we would show them support if there was the sheriff's department, Spring Hill Police, if they decided that they wanted to unionize,
Yeah.
that would be our job as a union, as a union brotherhood. Even though we're not the same, we may not be the same union to support them, just like the Teamsters are doing for us right now.
Right.
Okay, so that's something that like what?
The Teamsters, the rail car people,
Steel workers.
Steel workers,
I think-
International
Didn't
Association
Kroger have a
Machinists.
food union?
Kroger's
Yes.
union, yes.
Yeah.
Kroger's food
and
union.
they're supporting us.
Yeah,
They're
big
supporting.
time.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Kroger. I worked for y'all too.
My
One of the
kids did
biggest
too.
problems
Yeah.
that's going on like nationwide, and why the media paints it so negative, is because you haven't seen a strike like this in a very long time.
No,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a lot of
wow.
people down here don't know how to take it. Some are getting more excited and worked up like it's the Wild West, and some people are like, they're freaking out, and it's just a range of emotions.
It is.
for people that have never experienced. Now, I'm from Detroit. Y'all know every time you visit Detroit, you can see somebody picketing about something. They be outside the 7-Eleven picketing green, back, orange, high C.
Yes, bring back orange high C.
For any of your listeners in the community that wants to know, they could always stop by the Union Hall. They could always stop by any of the gates.
Talk to us.
We'll be glad to tell them what we're standing for and why we're there.
We're normal people just like y'all.
And we're in your community. This is your home down here.
Right.
Let me tell y'all something that for those of y'all that are listening. I was raised here in Columbia, Tennessee. I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. My parents hired in the 70s. If it wasn't for that Spring Hill plant, my mom wouldn't have been able to raise 4 kids on her own as a single parent.
Right.
If it wasn't for that union job.
Right.
And they need to understand that the importance of being able to do that, like what you say about the standard of living. Like a lot of us came up in situations where we might have a single parent household. I did too, you know what I mean? And that job being protected the right way was able to afford you. It's enough stress. I'm sure you saw your mom stress out. You know what I mean? So like they need to understand. Even if you don't, and I'm glad y'all say they can come by or they can stop and
Anytime.
It's
open 24 hours right now.
If you don't know, if you're not educated right, you should at least be able to empathize with what is going on and how people are being affected. And if your empathy is up and the information is low, then stop by and they can figure that out. But they should at least be able to understand that these are real jobs, real lives that are. Y'all just ain't striking because you're bored.
No.
People that have been born residents down here. How big has Spring Hill gotten since they opened that?
Dude.
But here's the thing, though. A lot of locals didn't want it to grow. They wanted to stay in the dark. They didn't want it. I mean, they're enjoying it now. They're enjoying. Yeah. I was just about to say now that their land is worth
Building
$1 million.
yeah, man. So, real quick, guys, Mike Stevens said, actually, the sheriff's department here in Warren, Michigan showed us their union card after delivering us food, helping block people trying to cross the line. So
they are union. That's awesome.
Because they're union.
Unionize the sheriff's department here.
All right, that'd be a tough one. That'd be a battle. That'd be a month worth of podcasting just constantly. Speaking of, one day we are going to come out there on the picket line with you guys. But for what I wanted to achieve today, I wanted you guys to come in here and be able to converse and talk about it. But we want to come. Me and Brandon will come out. I don't know, Jasmine, you gonna come out there? You gonna come? T-Talk's coming out there. Right. So we'll come out there. We'll probably come out there and just live stream for a little bit and just kind of see the environment and show everybody the environment standing there if we can get a pass to stand out there. Yeah.
And I'm bringing donuts.
Right. Let me get a union hat or something, man. Yes.
There we go.
So
they're gonna love us.
I actually wanted you guys to come out there.
I know.
But I understand where you were coming from.
Yeah, I wanted to, because Tim might get out there. He gets crazy, we get excited. I might get crazy, we get excited out there.
I'll be honest, man.
Right.
Like, shout out to y'all and because I know the importance of having to keep your cool, having to make sure that you don't get too riled up. And you got to know your flaws in life. I don't think I'm mature enough yet. Somebody hit me with a truck.
This is
I was the same way.
Don't hit me with no truck.
Like I told the
I'm coming in the cab.
It's like he said, you guys keep caution like that, we're going to take you to jail. So I got a pocket full of money, and we're prepared to do this. This is our livelihoods we're fighting for. But here's what you got to understand. Them truckers are driving into us, and you're just standing there and watching it. You're supposed to protect and serve. So who you protecting and serving, him or me?
Hey, and the truckers aren't from this area.
So what, they just drive?
And this story gets mellow.
Yeah. Yes.
I do electric back in Mansfield, Ohio in the 90s.
Right.
National Guard, and the SWAT team fired tear gas and rubber riot bullets into the crowd.
That's
They
the
just
one we're
started doing
driving
whatever they
into.
want.
This is mellow.
They're
Hey, you
driving
said you're
into
from
the people.
Detroit, Michigan?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit.
Why you got the Brooklyn Bridge up there?
Oh, because it was $10 at Ross, my nigga.
That's okay. The New Yorkers are fine with it.
You gotta understand, we've converted him to our family.
Everybody,
Right.
We have family events, he's always there.
everybody listening, I recorded this video right here. This truck was trying to drive right into us. And he did not want to stop. There was about 30 or 40 brothers and sisters out there, and that guy was trying to mow us down.
This truck is moving forward.
I've got the full length feed.
That truck is not standing still. This drive, I'm seeing. That's the thing.
Well, we had a car
that's
going
why
on the grass.
I'm gonna have to do all mine from the side because
Right.
I get tapped by a truck. The hell with this podcast.
Real quick, guys, before we wrap this up, what advice would you give to some of these people that are out of work right now? Not necessarily the GM direct employees, but the people that are in these other plants, the Brandon. Like, what advice would you give them right now?
Be patient. If you need anything, just go to the local 1853.
Like they're freaking out over the bills and everything.
I mean,
if you got to get another job for the time being.
Right. Why don't we?
Or you can hit that donate button.
Go to the page. There's a donate button, guys. Yeah, the shop now button. If you click it takes you to our Patreon. Anyways, that's not why we're here.
That's where I might have to.
I did.
So, what about if we put a Facebook like group together, and in that Facebook group, we find employers that are willing to hire them, and we have the people who are needing that work. You know, we put them bam, bam right there together.
Yes.
You know, with the understanding, the employers have the understanding
this
that
is to the strike.
Yeah, this is temporary work, but I can use this work.
Temporary,
yeah.
This is the thing. Us as union members, we can't get another job if we're making more than $250.
I'm not talking about. This is for the other plants affected.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the problem with that?
I wanted to start a GoFundMe page.
Right.
And I thought about it because I got a friend named Brittany that's out of work.
Right.
You know, and she's stressing. She's got kids. She's got a mortgage.
Yeah.
Problem with that, they're making 300 on unemployment laid off.
Wait,
I don't know if some of them, not all of
Not
them.
all of them.
We are?
These
My friend
people-
Brittany is making a dime.
These people know. They know who they are. We don't know their names. We don't know them directly, but they know who they are. And what do you want to call that? What do you want to do? Me and you, we can throw the page together and just invite business owners, and then invite people. And then we can find you a job now too.
We're gotta come up with a name for
Local 1853 helping out.
I don't. We have to clear it if we can use it.
Well, you can support the strike.
There you go.
Support the strike.
Yeah, we can put that together.
Jobs for people affected by the strike.
Right,
Boom.
right.
There you go.
Then how about that community? You throw that out there.
Give me that piece of paper.
Community unity.
Yes, community unity.
Unity.
Of 2019 strike. You know, so if you know any business owners that need work, laborers, whatever, even women can go on the laborers jobs and do the like the construction, the cleanup jobs and stuff like that. If you don't know how to work heavy machinery and all that stuff, they've got positions out there for everybody. I know that probably sounded sexist. Sorry, there it is, but there's work out there, and maybe we can put a group together and try and. No, I think we're still live. I think we're still live. Yeah, we are. Here it is. It's fetching it back up now.
They also got Tennessee Workforce Development Centers.
Yeah.
That they can
Tennessee. Okay. Say it one more time, a little bit louder.
All right, for everybody listening that's affected by the strike, for everybody that works at CLI, Magna, all the other companies that work for GM, we're going to put a Facebook page for y'all together to try to find jobs, temporary work. But you also got the Tennessee Workforce Development Centers in your local town, Columbia and stuff like that, where you can go and sign up and look for work. If we're out on strike for more than a month and you are desperately needing work, again, it's Tennessee Workforce Development Center.
Right. And just to clarify, this isn't for the UAW workers that are striking the GM plant. This is for the third parties
subsidiary contracted in.
So we'll try and figure that out and throw together. If you know business owners that need stuff, please contact us.
Yes.
Inbox any of us. We'll
Tag
throw it
the
together.
business.
The more you can reach out to these business owners for different things and different gigs, yes, the more we can help. Jazz, you got something?
Yeah, I'm with L&W Perfection, so I need drywall, painters, and cleaners. So let me know.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
Already, we starting off.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can't read that far. Do we have any other questions in the comments? I can't.
I mean, we've consistently had hundreds of people on here, so there's all kind of stuff. But I mean,
I hope y'all were educated
yes.
tonight.
I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. And
Stay on the lookout for that Facebook page. That was a great idea.
right, yeah, for sure. Let me get this camera back. There we go. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. Good luck out there in the field, in the what is it called, the warpath, I guess.
Trenches, man.
The trenches, yeah.
Fucking trenches.
We're gonna join y'all. We'll get together. We'll talk about what came out there. So
Yes.
and
I got your signs in the truck.
right.
Well, you can get some shirts. What sizes you need?
Right. Oh,
Jasmine, what
but
size you need?
Medium. I need a medium.
I'm a 6X kind of guy. Look at all this truck. This is truck blocking material. The truck is gonna
We
get
can use
I'm
you.
standing behind Paco.
right.
The next video you're gonna have, he's just gonna be walking with a pickers. Move out the way, I got this. Don't worry, he's not gonna budge me. Don't worry.
It's like hitting a small cow, man.
Trying to move and the tires start smoking.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah. Everybody got a Newport. So
City
What size
Avengers.
you
Remember when
Large.
Hulk smashed
You're that
into
large
Yeah.
medium?
I got his 4X.
Man,
I need a
that's your
6.
friend.
No, I can only get you a
They're
4.
big.
Oh no!
Cut you
Oh,
some
they're
sleeves.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some sleeves on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Give me
can-
2 4X's and we'll put them
Hey,
together.
we'll just cut like the front off of it, leave the collar, and you can wear it like a Superman. cape.
Right.
There you
We'll hook it up.
Yeah.
We can get creative.
He'll do it.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, I got unicorn heads back there, cow heads. Like, we
Oh,
go out,
yeah.
we'll show out that bitch. We have nothing to lose. We'll work with y'all.
You know, I'm gonna borrow the unicorn head tonight.
Yeah, that thing's
Bring them up for
amazing.
you, line.
Yeah, that'd be a good morale booster.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll
So-
route up the grounds.
Everybody just hold on. We're out there doing this for not just us, but for you too.
The entire middle class.
Right.
Entire middle
You know, the
class.
unions.
Over the whole country.
Right.
And
We
we're not
win,
just
you
one,
win.
we're many.
Right.
And I just want to like put it out there once again because I love information and facts. For what is it? Whenever it's not unionized anymore, the standard of living
Yeah,
drops.
if you go back and look, the standard of living dropped
It's in
directly
direct
related
correlation.
to the amount of organized labor in the country.
Yes, so you need to support the strike, support your local union, whatever you feel in your heart, because this is going to affect you whether you realize it or not. Your ignorance will not save
Right.
you.
Educate yourself.
Educate
make it
yourself.
history.
And one other
I've been
fact on that you
educated
might
today.
want to put in there, not only does the standard of living go down in direct relationship with the amount of organized labor in the country, as our standard of living and organized labor went down, the rich getting richer went up.
Went up.
So
Yeah.
there's gains. Every time we lose, there's gains.
Vote for Bernie Sanders. He talks about this all the
Yeah, I
time.
was about to say.
I know we
Bernie
weren't
Sanders
getting political, but
Right.
I was gonna do it.
So, thank you guys for coming out. This has been an experience. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Subscribe. Check out the second part when we go out on the picket lines with these guys and
donate.
Look this guy. So, Tea Talks, Jasmine.
Don't
Tea
even
Talks,
think
hello,
of any of
everyone.
us.
Yes, thank you. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Make sure that they're at the tattoo
This is your
parlor.
camera.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
make sure you bring that.
I'm legit hard though. Like if anybody has any experience in drywalling, any renovations, painting, cleaning, L&W Perfection
I painted and I
is
cleaned.
the website. Yeah. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Well,
You paint.
I'm hiring because after today I've learned so much. Like I said, I've heard of the union.
Are your working
but
conditions
the only
better?
time I ever thought, I guess for me,
Two background
just like one.
Don't make me unionize.
Only
Like
time
when
I
you
went up
chill.
there was for a wedding, and they would tell me, the union pays for this. Okay, cool, this is nice. So to know that they're fighting, they're losing right now is it's money speak. But when it's all over and said and done, everything will go back to normal and hopefully in a better place for everyone, not just the people who are over the companies making millions of dollars while their workers are getting beat up and they're not caring. So I've learned so much. I'm really glad that I was here.
Right.
Seriously.
This is
Yeah.
This is real talk. I just love the fact that we're fighting against the man.
The man. There he
Fighting
is.
Power to the people, brother.
Yeah.
Power to the people, man.
Unity is strong.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else, man?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to state this. and this is inside the walls, our union, we bicker and we fight, but at the end of the day, we're brother and sisters and we're blood. Right. And whether we're family or not through blood, we're family through union. And I would have his back and run and drop everything in a drop of a dime, just as I've her. And you could ask her whenever she needs me, all she does is pick up a phone call. And this is only going to make us stronger. So the more you fight us, the stronger we're going to get.
Absolutely.
And just to show proof of that, not a single one of us work in the same area.
Nope.
Right.
And look, I just, for the first time, I met him for the first time on Sunday.
Right.
And we've been like this since.
Right.
We all just met this week.
Oh, this is beautiful, man.
Me and Steven bought him.
It's just going to have an effect
family
nationally, but locally you're going to see a stronger effect now because we're going to be more united than ever when we go back in.
GM thinks they can destroy this union, but they're dead wrong.
And they're going about it all the wrong way.
They are.
They're going about it all the wrong way.
They're just making us stronger.
And these tactics that they choose, man, it's like some tyrannical, like we was talking before the podcast. It's like 1984 type shit.
Right.
Man,
That
fight Big
is
Brother.
Evil.
Right.
Evil. Cut off the insurance, then direct 18-wheelers to come to.
Surgeries.
Yeah.
And they
Reroute
cut off their
them
insurance.
to an entrance that they've never really used before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to antagonize.
And that southern entrance isn't even really set up for trucks. Like
No.
that's what I was
That's what it
thinking.
says, too.
That's what I was
It's
fucking
been
thinking.
hard
Like,
forever.
Yeah.
golly,
So they're bringing
Signs on the
trucks in
highway.
where the daycare is.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, which is
crazy.
not safe. At
That's
all.
not safe at all. Like
Yeah.
that southern entrance. If you guys don't realize that there's two entrances. There's one that's only for employees, which is it clearly even looks like it's like this.
Yeah.
18 is not supposed to be there.
Right.
So the fact that you're telling me this, and it's been so many times I've been running late and I've had to take that quick entrance right there. So I know how exactly those moves.
Yeah.
That's not safe. It's not smart. It's not even feasible because like to be able to get the trucks to where they got to load up, you got to go a longer way around, right? Like, so they're just being they're injuring themselves business wise. The injured the strike. Man, that's some shit.
So to the parents at the daycare, they need to make a stand and make sure those trucks don't come in there because it's not safe for the kids.
Let them know they're not the target of this.
They are not the target. We have babies. We love your babies. The
daycare's there because you guys are working. The daycare's there because of the union.
And they are safe. We will not let anything happen to those kids.
Right.
Or the parents going to get
Or the
them.
parents, right.
Yeah, we have nothing against them.
It's all about GM. We are only against GM.
Right.
That's it.
It just happened to share the same entrance. That's it.
That's all.
That's it.
So,
Just don't be disillusioned by what they trying to make you think. Like it's crazy. But it's the SS WhoDat.
there, yeah, we got to roll. Sorry, y'all.
Thank you for listening to this special presentation on an exclusive interview with the UAW. We have the shout out to the local 1112. We got 1853. Any other ones? I don't want to.
That's what we got.
All right.
We're all 1853 now.
Yeah.
I'm
So community-
1853.
Oh,
There you
throw
go.
it up. Throw it up.
I'm 1850. Oh, that's what my camera.
Community unity. Support the union workers when you see them. Blow your horn like I do.
I do. If you see a blue BMW, I've drove by every day and blew the horn on the way to and from work.
Yeah.
I felt bad because I was in the BMW. I wasn't in the GM vehicle.
Yeah, I'd go on the slide. I wouldn't go bring it up.
Feel free to pull over and get out and take some pictures with everybody. Feel free.
So,
Coming.
I'm hoping my
definitely.
timeline gets flooded after
Educate
this.
yourselves because this has been really enlightening.
Yes, like crazy.
So, but yeah, that's it for today, y'all. Show support. Stop by. Apparently, show support to your Teamsters, and
Drop off some donuts, guys.
right.
Food.
Come talk to us.
Lead us out, Brandon.
Well, I mean, we'll see you again. Hope everybody stays blessed.
Sunday.
Have a good rest of the week. And we'll see you Sunday.
Yeah.
Welcome to the mothership, bitches.
Who that?
Rockin' with DJ. There's nothing around. It's gotta be my imagination. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. I think it's an invasion. They not around. Let's go.